I gotta go get my stand now.
Did you do any pictures or anything?
I did a little picture, and then I said okay on the picture, and it was like, okay, you're live. And I was like, whoa. Thanks, YouTube.
Ugh, here, don't break my light.
Somebody's here. Welcome here, somebody.
You want it like this?
I don't really care. None of that matters. Clamp the damn thing on.
Don't yell at me in front of everybody.
Let's go. Yeah, I was totally not ready for that.
Nope.
Here, you can work with that.
No.
Yeah, it just went live. I took a picture and it went live.
Well, where the hell you going, man?
I'm going right here. Come on, what's up, bud?
Okay, I think we're. Well, I can't get the bottom of my dress to clean it.
Oh, man.
There.
Cool, there's nobody here.
I haven't got a notification yet.
No.
Did you make it unlisted?
No, I listed it, I think.
Because remember last time we had that problem?
We had one here.
Oh, did we? Oh, they left.
Go check it. Go check it and see. If not, then I'll unlist it and relist it.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
One watching.
You.
No,
Hello,
somebody
dear.
else is here.
Hey, what's up? Welcome here to the shop.
Okay, I have a job to do. That's why nobody's here. We didn't tell anybody.
I did. I told TikTok. I said we were going live on the other video platform. So, I mean, if I don't, they won't tell anybody. It'll just sit there stagnant for 3 days. So.
Somebody coming up behind us.
Sindri! There's people here. We got 3 people here. Hit that like button. Even if you don't like it, we'll liven up. I promise.
Because we like to drink in the
We like to
Northwoods.
drink in the Northwoods.
Oh, are we drinking? Good.
Are you schooling too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're drinking
Skål.
again. Skål. They're like, this is going to get fun later.
It could.
Okay. I'm doing a job, so.
Okay.
Oh.
She's sharing it to FB. I don't know what you can say anymore. They throttle everything. So she's sharing it to the other social network. What are you guys up to? Say hi.
Hi.
You're such a cornball.
They're probably saying hi. I just didn't go up there, did it?
What?
Anybody saying hi?
Well, we had 4, we're down to 2, so they probably just like whatever.
You guys are lame.
You guys suck. You're not even playing video games. What? You're not also true.
So I can get course on.
You're not also true. You're not even playing games.
You're distracting me.
I know. I'm gonna keep doing that. Oh, we got 4 again. They must have had a glitch in the system. Strange. Nope, 3. No, we're gone. And nope. I don't know who's here. Why am I not getting any?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, I think I
Well, hi everybody. I don't know who's here because I'm not getting any feedback. So.
Alright, so let me blow this back up. I haven't done this in a long time, so I just.
Yeah.
We
We're
got
still figuring it out.
David Braswell said
Hey,
hello.
hey, David. At least we know it works. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we're just sitting here in the shop. We're just getting some work done. We had a pretty cool video shoot today. Hey, Zach. Yeah, we had a pretty cool video shoot today. We shot. We went out and blessed a big stack of these arm rings. Yeah, big stack of those for the website. So.
Because
Huh?
I turned it on.
Oh, what? Just made noise.
Yeah,
Huh.
it sings.
Yeah, that oven's weird.
It's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, I'm not used to it yet. Skull.
Oh,
Aha!
Skål!
Gray or green?
Woo!
Oh, okay.
Every time you say skull, she's gonna spill her drink.
No, I'm not. I'll get better.
That's how it works. The more you drink, the better you get.
So anyway, we did a video today.
Did a video today. I blessed. So these are the Kindred rings. Okay. These rings are something that when our members have been like full members for a year, then we give them a name, a nice heathen name. They pretty much prove their dedication to the gods at that point, that they're not going anywhere. We couldn't get rid of them if we wanted to at this point. Case in point.
It's not gathering weekend.
So, can you explain the baptism ritual, and did it come before the Christians? It did come before the Christians, and we actually shot a video yesterday, the day before.
Yesterday.
So I'll explain it a little bit in a little while here, so stick around. But there's a full video coming on the whole process, including an example when we baptized one of our brothers. So yeah, it's absolutely pre-Christian.
I'm just getting him supplies.
And the translation is, it was called water sprinkling, and it was part of the naming process. So, and then, like I blessed a bunch of these today, and there's no historical record of that happening, but I gave some really cool examples of how we know it's real. And so that video will be coming soon when we get it edited, and then these will be on our website. Are they down there?
Yes.
Yeah, so we got a stack of these on the website that are blessed. These are the official ones. So when we swear our members into the Kindred, we give them a name, we water sprinkle them, and then we gift them because it's called a name fastening. When you fasten the name to them, it comes with a gift, whether it be lands, weapons. For us, it's an oath ring. I have no lands or weapons to give away.
Nope.
And so when we do our name fastening, that's the oath ring we do for our kinsmen. And so we decided that we would do. I found a good source on them where I could buy them in bulk. So don't let anybody fool you when they're like handmade stainless steel oath ring, handmade horse hoof oath ring. It's not handmade. Well, it might be handmade from like little Chinese hands in a sweatshop somewhere, but the bottom line is we all get them from the same place. I don't care if you're buying one from a company in Norway or a company in Sweden or a company in Iceland or a company in Ventura, California. They're all coming from the same factory, and so ours just happen to be blessed. So whatever if that's worth it to you, then it is. At least I can clear out the karmic debt attached to child labor laws, right, in China. So at least we can purify that part of it out of the creation phase. So theoretically. But I also, on the video, I actually give a really good example of how blessing your tools and weapons and things like that actually is actually a good thing. Yeah, it matters, right?
Yeah.
So
We should probably get the baptismal video out in about a week, less than a week.
yeah, it should be less than a week. She's the one that does the editing. I got other stuff to do.
I got I got one that's going out, and then that's the next video.
Anthony made it. Hey, dude. And what was that? Any books you'd suggest for one attempting to learn how to actively practice? Well, there's no real books, no good books on the actual practice, unless you kind of tune your brain into designing ritual based on old, because you can't really do things the way that it used to be done. That's absurd. Anybody that says that's not historic, you can't do it that way. That was 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 years ago. Nobody can do stuff the same way anymore. We have to be able to bring it into the modern era. So I would really suggest subscribing to the site if you're not already, but because we're trying to take all those rituals from a wedding to baptisms, funerals. Anytime I have an opportunity to do those and film them, I'm absolutely going to film them and then show you how to do it and explain the process. So the next video will be on the baptism, because I think that that's very important. And then there's no historic examples that I know of like blessing something like an oath ring. And anybody that says you got to blood them and all that kind of, they're all just making that shit up. You can if you want, if that feels good, but
You can still do that if you fold.
we're basing the blessing of tools and equipment and weapons and stuff. We're basing it on water sprinkling, and we do that because the water sprinkling, the name fastening, was essentially a blessing of human life, and while we're not blessing a human life, we're blessing a tool. And in a lot of cases, those tools, your weapons, your helmet, your shield, things that were real important to your life, were given names. They named those items. So if they named those items, I gotta at least imagine that they would have water sprinkled them, purified them, and blessed them, and consecrated them to their intended task. That would make sense to me. I have done it, and I've had some feedback, in the process of doing that, that's been pretty remarkable. And I have proof of that, and I'll show you in the video. But I don't want to spoil everything right now. So, but the video is going to be pretty exceptional. So we'll have a video about the baptismal, the name fastening, and then we'll do a video all about blessing your own tools and stuff. And when we do that, we'll bless, about 30 or 35 of these various different arm rings for our website, which are up there now. They're already blessed, but you'll be able to see the video shortly on the whole process of doing that. And I'll explain in detail why I do what I do. And then, you can modify it however you want, whatever makes sense to you. Like I said, anybody who claims they have all the answers is full of shit. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I do claim to know what I'm doing. So we have our own way of doing things. Some of them are historic. Most of them are based on history, Those Hollywood movies y'all love, right? It's at least based on a true story. So, and that's about all we can hope for in the modern era, because we don't, no matter what the event, whether it be a wedding, a funeral, a name fastening, an outlawing, or anything else. Most of that we have anywhere from a 20 to an 80% solution. There is almost nothing we have 100% solution on. You have to be confident to make up the difference. And if you find in time, maybe they have a find, or they find this Viking document and it explains the rest of it, then just adjust in the future. Adjust it to what makes sense. But for now, you got to be confident with making up the extra 20 to 80%, or you're never going to get anywhere. You're just going to sit around in a dark, dank library theorizing about what they might have done and do absolutely nothing. We prefer to live our lives and, study, practice, find something that makes sense or something you need to do, gather as many resources as you can, put the pieces together and make it make sense in the modern era. That's really our goal here. But at no point do we try to claim that we have the right way, the old way, the true way, or any of that bullshit. We have a way that works very, very well for us. Yeah?
Yeah, that's our way.
We have our way. And
Mine way.
what's that?
Mine way.
Mine way.
He sprinkles those mines all over the place, doesn't he?
Yeah. So you're looking at the origin of Mine Gothi right there.
It's his fault.
Yeah. He's the one who started with all that mine business. Now it's mine Gidya, mine kinsman, mine brother, mine sister. Mine is like, that's kind of how we talk, man. What did I miss? Any books you'd attempt? Okay. So with that said, when I say you got to kind of make up the difference, the book I would highly recommend, I say the book, but it's actually a 2-volume set.
I'm gonna go get it.
It's The Viking Age by Paul B. Duchaillu. You might as well grab them, because I'm going to go through the table of contents anyway.
Oh man, here we go.
The table of contents is pretty sick. Like, once you hear the table of contents, you're going to want to jump and buy it. And we actually have,
Amazon.
we got an Amazon link. It's maybe check another video, because it's not under this thing. But we actually have a link to our Amazon store. And the reason I say follow our link, we do make a couple of pennies off of it, but that's not the point. The point is that there are good copies and bad copies. They're all printed on order, because it's all reprint type of a business, and they're printed to order. So when you order it, you're going to see in the back and say printed in Austin, Texas on the day after you ordered it or something. And I've ordered 2 copies, 2 of Volume 1 and 2 of Volume 2, one for me and one for Mine Gidya. And both of them were exceptional. There were a couple of double pages, but there were no missing pages. And some of the reviews are hit and miss on all the other things. I read the one with the best reviews. I took a chance. I ordered the books. I went through every single page. Just like that. And every page is there. Some of the doubles I just tore out. But it was an exceptional copy. It's my working copy. Now, I have an original hardcover copy of both Volume 1 and Volume 2 from 1889 or 1890. I have an original, but I don't like to work with it because I can't highlight it. I can't.
I brought that too.
Yeah, so this is my working copy right here. of the Viking Age. There is no small amount of data in those books. And this is everything I want to know how to do. If I want to know how to do a wedding, what it does is it won't say ABC, this is how you do a wedding. What it says is, here are a whole bunch of historical examples of weddings from the Heimskringla, from Tacitus, from the sagas of the Icelanders, from Gisli's saga, from the Volsung saga, whatever it is. Here are all the examples, and here's my interpretation of it. My being Paul B. Duchalou in 1890. So you can read all those sources or all those pieces, and then you can follow them back, because he'll say this is from the saga of the people of the Laxerdal or whatever, and then you can trace back to there, and you can read the events leading up to the event that was mentioned, and then the events, after, and then you can kind of decide for yourself how you want to manipulate your own or structure your own in accordance with as much detail or as much reference as we possibly have. And it's got like really detailed drawings of old Viking finds, grave sites, runic inscriptions, Viking jewelry, things like that. All that stuff's in there, and you can really go down a rabbit. I love the book, so I just love them. I mean, all the time. And when this one's dead, I'm gonna probably just buy more sets. But you can tell it's a complete facsimile, because this has still got like a dedication that somebody put in it back in 1890. It has a dedication when it was. So this was a facsimile of a very old book, and it's from George C. Taylor, Esquire of New York. So
I wonder if we're as grainy as it looks there. You should see if we're like super grainy.
we have another video going right here where we can kind of watch it and respond to the comments, and it looks really super grainy. Does it look like that for you guys? Let me check this. See if I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't want to take it off Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi's on. I can take Bluetooth off. I don't know what that's going to do. Maybe it'll just save some processing
It
power.
was really, really grainy.
Yeah, it does look kind of grainy, doesn't it?
It goes back and forth. Potato quality.
I don't know what that is, but I assume it's not so good. Within the last 2 days, joined the group. How do you guys practice? I'm happy I caught this. Is the group more spiritual or more historical? We're kind of like bridge the gap there. I don't find spiritual or historical to either one of them to be really relevant, like 100%. Like, I mean, people are good to go and do what they want. We try to take historical references and be as historical as possible, as much as it makes sense in the modern era. We don't always dress, but we do have dress, and we can dress if we want. We have 2 rituals a year where we tend to go a little overboard and dress up and get a little creepy. One of them is winter nights. We'll do a winter maypole, which is absolutely not historic at all, but it's a lot of fun because we have a maypole, so we try to use it as much as we can. So we have the creepy maypole we do, and we wear shamanic headdresses, and we spend the day prior to it in here working on the headdress. Will you grab my headdress? So I have a little shamanic headdress which we made here, and then we'll add to it each year. So we do the creepy maypole. Absolutely not a historic thing, but it's fun and it builds kinship. And I think that if you want to talk about history, historically they tried to build kinship. Like, kinship was important. And sometimes you have to step outside of the history books. And the reason that I say that that's important, I can see here that it's really grainy, and I'm sorry about that. So stick with me and just kind of listen to the audio until it comes back in.
You always took the Wi-Fi off when you went.
I can try to take the Wi-Fi off and see. I'll take it off and I'll work on the cell net and see if it works any better. I have great connectivity anyway. And it looks like it froze. Oh no, okay. That looks a little better to me. How's that look to you guys? I think that's better. So just as an example here, this is my creepy headdress, all right? A lot of fun to make. A lot of fun to wear.
Looks high def.
Cool.
Yay.
So it's a lot of fun to make and wear, and I have a deerskin piece that goes over the top, purely handmade. But I find that it's funny because people can say, "Oh, that's not historic. You guys are a bunch of posers and LARPers," And all those people can piss straight up a rope. I don't really care what they think.
Fucking kindred.
It doesn't affect how we operate our kindred. And it really, how our kindred operates doesn't affect how you do your kindred. But we do the channel here because we want to show people how we do it. And if it speaks to you, that's fine. Some people aren't into the super creepy, weird circus sideshow events that you see on some of the YouTube channels. They're always a freaky sideshow. We don't do that. Most of the time when we have a ritual, Osmetic, hey, how you doing, man? Most of the time when we have a ritual, we're plain clothes. You know, we have a little fit, like we have our oath rings, you know, and
Kilts.
my
We have a lot of
torque.
kilts.
Kilts, but we wear kilts on a daily basis. We wear kilts out in town and when we go shopping too. So it's I gotta get another one because I'm getting a little fat for my kilt, so it doesn't really look right. But in most cases, if we're wearing a kilt in ritual, it's because we wore it to the event and we've been wearing it for the last week or whatever. So we wear kilts and we wear kilts to ritual, but it's not because we're trying to be authentic. It's because because we're wearing utility kilts anyway. But we wear them because that's us. That's who we are. So much like our Viking ancestors would have, they would have gone out and done ritual in their daily clothes. They didn't put on special clothes to do ritual. So neither do we most of the time. But winter nights we do. When we party on winter nights, it's our, it's the time when that little veil between our world and the netherworld is the thinnest. So we can really kind of connect with our ancestors and stuff. And we can do it in a shamanic, but kin-like way. So I don't really know how to explain it. You'll have to wait for October and then you can see it, but it's a lot of fun for us. And the other time is Yule. We do dress for ritual on Yule, and we'll dress very historically, at least as much as we can put together and gather. Maybe not. Maybe it wouldn't pass for a documentary about the Viking Age, but it works for us. It makes us feel more connected to our ancestors when we dress for ritual, but we still only do it rarely.
Well, and most of our dress too, like we either made it or we got it like 30 years ago, and there wasn't Google and Amazon and all those things.
Right. Yeah, you couldn't order a lot of that stuff. A lot of it we made, and for the example, this torque. I'm still wearing it because I did a ritual this afternoon and I wore it. But here's the thing: this torque was given to me. It was gifted to me. It was handmade. I don't know who made it, but I know that it was made for me. My mentor, Godi, the guy who trained me for the last 20 some years, gifted me this when I had done a series of rituals. I've done some rune work, other stuff, helped people, guided people, mentored people. There was a lot of stuff that led into it before the time where he decided that I was worthy of the title Godi. And he gave me this. And then I never wore it because I didn't feel like I earned it yet. Only recently have I started wearing this because this is around here. This is the symbol of the Godi right here. And I believe that that's a relatively historical account. But I never wore it because I didn't feel like I deserved it. But now I'm teaching people, I'm helping people, I'm conducting ritual. I've taught people who've never done it before, brand new to their religion, and now they're conducting ritual for their household. So, that's got to be Godi enough. That's got to be the symbol of the Godi. So once my mentor signed off on me, he gave me this. And then once I felt confident that I could live up to that, what he put on me, then and only then would I wear it. So that's where we're at now. You'll see some Godis wear it's catching on my shirt. It's a very narrow fit. If I put on too much weight, I might have to bend it. So you'll see some Godis that wear like a scarf or, I don't know how traditional that is. Seems a little Catholic for me, but the truth is that I think every group or whatever has some designator or some thing that says this is what distinguishes the Godi. And then since my mentor Godi gave me this one, that's what we use around here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. And I like it. It feels good too. You know what I mean? Feels because it's heavy. It's hand hammered iron. It's not.
Yeah, it is very heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It's very cool. I could take it off and cold cock somebody with it if I needed to.
Yes.
So is there one for the day you were born?
When what?
I don't know.
I'm guessing ritual.
Okay, well, I'll assume you can clarify that comment. I'll clarify. You can clarify the comment if I'm off, but if you're saying the ritual for the day you were born, okay, so what happens the day you're born is they clean you up and they generally lay you on the floor in the middle of the room, and everybody just gets to stand around and look at you. And what they're looking for is they're looking for any abnormality, sickness, deformity, or anything that would cause you to be exposed. And so I guess it's probably a decent conversation to have since we're talking about Roe versus Wade, and other channels are kind of jumping on that bandwagon right now too, when they start talking about, the Viking view of abortion and that kind of stuff. So I don't know anything about Viking abortion. I don't know that they punched women in the stomach, or I don't know that I don't think they did anything like that. I don't know how you would do it in those times. I don't know how they would do it in
I
those
would
times.
guess herbs.
But yeah, possibly herbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that would probably be a thing.
Punch him in the stomach?
I don't know. I don't know what the Vikings would have done.
My brain just kind of caught up, but sorry.
Kick them down a flight of stairs.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like who knows?
I mean, think about it. We're talking about medieval medicine here, right? So medieval medicine, abortion would probably,
Mushrooms.
yeah, it could be a medical thing with. Anyway, so they put the baby on the floor. Everybody examines it.
Or not.
There were no clothes hangers back then.
I know. I'm just.
We are way off topic. We need to reel this shit in really
Okay.
fast.
My dad did that one time.
So-
Yes, he is asking about, the day you were born.
Okay, so they put the baby on the floor, and at this point, the baby does not count as a human yet. So this is just a Viking view. Like, you can take it or leave it. I don't really care. It's irrelevant to me.
What?
Well, I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know.
I don't
what
want
I'm
to
saying.
cut you off.
I'm not really that mean. Like I'm just.
I don't even know what he's
Man,
saying.
Like
They'll lay you on the floor. Everybody will look at you, and then when they decide that you seem okay, they'll pick you up and they'll put you in the folds of the cloak folds of your father. Father will look at him, and he'll make the determination or a prediction, essentially based on what you look like and your temperament, and he'll predict how your temper is going to be in the future, whether you're going to be a great warrior or a poet or a skald or whatever, and he'll declare these things and generally water sprinkle and give a name. Or they'll have someone else do it, an honored guest, or if the father's not available, an uncle or some other honored family member will do it. A lot of times when they water sprinkle or baptize and give them the name, they will also gift them, because that's the name fastening. Gift them an oath ring or lands or weapons or whatever. You're talking about a child, but there's still a gift that goes with the name fastening. And that usually happens at or near birth. Now, once that happens, it is considered murder to expose the child, which is to just leave them out in the forest for the land vet or the wolves.
once you're named, you can no longer be left for the wolves.
It's not about the name. It's more about the water sprinkling.
Oh,
the
okay.
water sprinkling or the baptism is when they say this is a viable human being, and the purpose of that was that reincarnation was important. Okay, and they wanted to make sure that if you were, if this baby was the reincarnation of a great grandfather shouldn't have a defective vehicle. So if your legs are all contorted or you look like you were, disabled or something, they wanted to give grandfather the best vehicle in this life that they could. So they essentially sent that one back to the factory so that he could get reincarnated into the next one. That was really mechanically, that was the look. And,
Give me a drink.
Oh, okay. And I heard another YouTuber, what's that guy's name? The long hair guy and that other YouTuber.
Oh, North Magic and Bliss?
Yeah, Norse Magic and Beliefs. So he was talking about it today, and he kind of covered some of that same stuff, but not quite in that kind of detail. And yeah, he kind of mentioned the same thing, but he was kind of getting on the Roe versus Wade bandwagon as well. But so really the gist of it right there is when it comes to birth and namings and that kind of stuff. But
So
it was considered murder to expose the child after their name fastening.
So this was in response to, I think, joining the group and historical or spiritual. But Chad said, "Thank you for the answer. I appreciate it. And does the group get together often?"
at least once a month, but random cats and dogs here all the time. So Sindri is actually a slaughterman at a processing plant in Washington. And we have been kind of back to back. Obviously, we haven't been live here, even though we said we were going to be. We've been gone every weekend, and he didn't have time to come here. So I have a giant stack of his slaughter and processing knives that I usually sharpen for him here. So he had to come out and get that done today. And he's got 3 different bins full of knives. A lot of them the same knife, but he's got a pork knives, he's got lamb knives, and he's got beef knives. And the reason is, some of that stuff is kosher or halal or whatever. It's got to be slaughtered according to very specific rules. So I'm actually going to be working with Sindri, and I'm going to design an Asatru or a Norse pagan or Norse heathen ritual knife for those of us that are rural, who have a bunch of acreage and live animals, and we want to slaughter our own animals in bloat. We're going to work together because he's a professional slaughterman, and we're going to design one single knife that I can make in my shop. It's very exceptional, that is good for the slaughter and the processing of, a sheep or a lamb or a goat or a pig or whatever you want. But it'd be a very high-end custom knife made for that purpose.
My brother.
That one blade can kind of a one blade solution to the problem. But I'm relying heavily on him to kind of work with that design, and then I'll make them. And I was talking about that knife design we're going to work on with for a slaughter knife.
Oh, for the ritual slaughter.
A ritual slaughter and process knife.
Yeah.
We have some ideas, but I'm not going to throw them out there now because I don't want some other knife maker to jump on it and beat me to the punch. Let me do it first, and then they can copy me.
So we have, speaking of us gathering, why don't you tell them where we're going to gather in August?
Okay, so August we're going to try and do. Okay, so we're up in North Idaho, obviously around Coeur d'Alene, and we've been kind of scouting around looking for like a good spot where we could have a couple of people, and we're going to try in August to just do an open camp. We're not going to charge anything. We're not going to provide food or lodging or anything. It's like if you want to come.
Don't tell them about all the stuff we're not going to provide. We're going to provide a lot of really awesome memories. Like, holy shit, we're going to spread sparkle all over the forest, like Northwoods Kindred live and in color, man. Like, holy cow. Yeah. I'm so excited for a thing, man. So excited.
So we're doing a thing.
Sorry.
In the woods. We're gonna set up our camp. We're actually gonna find a nice little ritual area. We're gonna do some ritual. Maybe I'm hoping on like 2 to 3 bloats and at least 1 summel, maybe 2 summels, 1 each night. I would like to do an opening bloat, an opening ritual on Friday morning. I would like to do an evening bloat on Friday, or maybe an afternoon bloat, and then a Saturday afternoon bloat, and then a summel Friday night and a summel Friday evening, and then Sunday is just kind of a, everybody say their goodbyes. Are you raising your hand to talk or something?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question. Sorry, I'm really excited. What if everybody brought a table Saturday and then we all feasted after bloat like you did? Just put our tables
like
next to ours and
like
one big long conga.
Like everybody just kind of donate or run what you brung and have like a big combined feast.
Put their food on their table and stuff, and then we could just all kind of.
That would be fun, yeah. So we're still working out the details, but ideally it's going to be somewhere up around here local. It's not going to cost anything other than you got to provide for your own food and your own bodily waste and all that kind of stuff. If I find a good spot, if I find a good spot and I can get it done, I will put a porta-john out there or 2. I'll pay for that out of my pocket if some people roger up. But here's the thing: like as soon as we do it, you got to join our Facebook group, because as soon as we find the spot and we find all the stuff, if anybody rogers up, then we'll give them the address. I don't want to just throw the address out there on the internet because I don't know what's coming. I want people to be members of our community and then show up that way. So
you got to RSVP, man.
Yeah, because that would be nice. And then I'll give you the address, and then you're pretty much on your own. Make it or don't. We're not charging. If you got some wares to sell, bring a booth. We don't care. We might set up a booth. We might not. Definitely, we're going to be wandering around. If you got a booth, we're going to wander in there and check it out. You know what I mean? Because we like stuff. We're a kindred that likes stuff. So
The Woodsman 86
yeah.
said no food provided but a summel. That's trickery. LOL.
Well, you provide your own food, or we can do like everybody like a potluck feast that night. It's not about doing a real thing. It's really about just kind of starting the process of getting people together in one place so we can actually honor the gods and do that kind of stuff. And I'm more than happy to conduct ritual, provide the mead for that, and do those sort of things. But I ain't feeding everybody, and I don't want to charge everybody, because if we charge people, here's the thing: it's going to be a public land camp out or whatever. We're just going to find a good spot where we're likely to be able to fit everybody in, and then everybody's on their own. You do something messed up, you're responsible for that. I'm not responsible for that. I don't have to get insurance because I'm not hosting an event.
We're just camping.
We're just camping, and you're allowed to camp next to us. And then you're responsible for your goods. We're responsible for our goods. This is a first year. Now, in the future, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road, maybe this will be a big event where we have a rented site and insurance and, catered meals and all that kind of stuff. We have done that before. As Gallahorn Kindred, our previous kindred, we hosted 2 All Things for the Asatru Alliance. One local to us and one on the other side of the country, and we flew over there and hosted it. We are capable of that. But let's see how it works. We don't really have the outreach that the Asatru Alliance had at that time. We could put all this together, put a lot of money and time and effort into it, and nobody show up. So let's just camp together. Let's just try to get together, and then we'll conduct a little bit of ritual and have a good time. And from there, maybe we can make plans moving into the future, because that would be a lot of fun that way.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to some of the comments we passed
Yeah.
over.
So really, that's what it is, Woodsman. We're just talking about that. But if you're up this way or over in Oregon or something like that, then it's not too big of a inconvenience. Let's party, man. So,
Okay, so we're going to go back a little.
we like to drink.
Okay, well, speaking of drinking, Anthony would like to know a side question. What are you guys drinking on?
Anthony?
Is this Yaffanar?
No.
It's Anthony Hayes.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a friend. I've been chatting with him about.
Hi.
He's new. I've been chatting with him about Asatru and making the conversion. So
what are we drinking?
okay, so this is about this much, somewhere in here.
Bro, I poured that. There we go.
Okay, it's about this much. Really cheap box wine, Cabernet Sauvignon in a box, and the rest of it is Crystal Light lemonade. So it's kind of an adult beverage. It's kind of our own little version of a wine cooler. It's like the official drink of our kindred, because we just pound these suckers. You never get a buzz.
And we
You
have Kindred
feel like
mugs.
you're drinking an adult thing.
Yeah, we made our own.
We fill them with Kindred mugs during gatherings.
So one of our kinsmen works at a place that makes these and a bunch of other like weird Walmart-y stuff. And they were discontinuing. They had like a big sale. So he just bought like 30 or 40 of these at like a quarter a piece. So he brought them here. So everybody selects their mug and then decorates it. And then when we have gatherings, everybody has their own kindred mug. We don't have to worry about dishes or anything. You wash your own mug and then put it away when you leave. And it saves us a lot of trouble. We appreciate it. Everybody gets to be an individual and,
Our mug.
Clean this stuff up.
Drink lemonade.
huh?
No,
Mug? No. Oh, okay.
he's trying to sing the boat.
No, don't do that. We got to fix that. We got to fix those lyrics a little bit.
Okay, so Chad said supposedly pennyroyal, a plant oil, was used to end a pregnancy in Nordic peoples, but there's little evidence that supports that.
It might have. Well, it's probably maybe. There's probably evidence that supports that in the Celtic. And if it was there, it was probably a little bit wider spread. I can believe that. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I don't know why I didn't think about the herbal version. Probably because that's not where my brain's at. I'm a little bit more about the ritual and less about the medicinal side of those types of things. I'm very ritual oriented, and I always try to look at the old ways and decide how do I recreate this ritual in the modern world that makes sense now, based on at least the intent of the old ritual. It doesn't have to be the same mechanics of the old ritual, but it has to have the same intent. Whether it's to invite the gods or invoke the gods, to bless something, to do this or that. It's got to have the same intent, and then we try to bounce it off the historical references as much as possible. But ritual is important to me, not so much the medicinal side of it. So I don't know why I never thought about the use of things like that, like pennyroyal or other such poisons dog bane or, you know.
Let's see. David wants to know, do you do weddings?
Do I do weddings? I could do weddings. I have a travel kit. My travel kit is mostly to deal with the veteran funerals and military work, but I could do weddings. I mean, I'm available.
I mean, I could give you my card. No.
I mean, no. I would do weddings. You'd have to pay to get me there, and and at least a little bit of my hosting, but I wouldn't like charge for a wedding. I don't think. Some people do. I mean, but if you got me there, I'd do a wedding. Sure, I'd be happy to do that. So
I'll record it.
I mean, got me there and feed me, I guess. Give me a meal voucher. So.
Okay, so the woodsman said, "Ben, forever since I've seen a YouTube live. How goes it?"
It goes well, man. How's your little farm treating you? I love your chicken videos, man.
What?
I'll show you. He's on TikTok. So.
Okay, so let's see. Osmetic said, "I'd love to purchase a knife like that from you."
Yeah, we'll get it designed. It's kind of a side project. We have lots of other things going on that are more important, but I really need to get busy and get back out here and make knives. Like I'll show you. Like, keep me happy for a second, honey.
What?
So.
They can still see you.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for a knife blank or whatever.
Like what, a hog or a sack?
No, just a folder.
Oh.
So. I'll show you some of my fixed blades in a minute. I don't have a lot of completed knives around here. Usually when they're done, they're gone. There's no wasting time. So this is like a folding knife. This is a wired together. This is just a slip joint, right? Like clips like that. There's a lot of work that goes into actually turning this into a knife. But here's one that's like halfway there. So it's got a spray. It's got the nail nick cut into it. This is all hand done, hand ground. This started out as like just a piece of bar stock.
Did you say you wanted knife length?
Stainless liner,
Lengths.
pins.
Length.
This is a canvas micarta or a burlap micarta, and then there's your blade. So I've been most of my effort has gone into these little folders. See, real good walk and talk. It's going to change a little when you put it together and then you adjusted it. But yeah, from that to that, that's where I really been putting my focus lately. But I have a ton of other. Let me show you. I'll just show my board. You know what I'm saying? What?
Don't look at.
Making a new Quest hood. This is just basically some of my knife patterns. So little neck knives and stuff like that. Here's some folder patterns. And then bigger knives, hunting knives, bushcraft knives, survival knives. This is one of my big choppers. Got a nice hollow grind on it. Really good if you like a big knife option in the field. Here are probably not a good example. Yeah, here's a good example of a Viking sax I'm working on. So that one's ground hollow. Says soft. It hasn't been hardened yet, so there's a little more grinding that's going to get done on it after it gets hardened. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks there. And there's, I get various thickness. So I'll make a light sax and a heavy sax depending on, whether it's going to my wife or some customer who wants it a little lighter or whatever.
Haywood Block said, "Hey guys, hope your day is going great."
Cool. And then there's a cleaver design. I actually have one. I made one of those for myself. It's a really nice design. And then everything else. That's a really good one. That one was designed for I designed that specifically for a trapper in New York. He just trapped small game. He wanted a small game skinner, and he gave me his specs, and I kind of tweaked it a little bit and came up with that and traded him for a bunch of furs and shit. So that was pretty cool. So when you see me running around and I'm wearing, Angel's wearing a fox fur, I got some beaver pelts and stuff like that. So if you see any furs, they might have come as a trade on that knife deal. That was pretty cool. Come on, Sherbach.
Oh, I'm in your chair.
So yeah, so I got a pretty good knife shop. That's what I do. But it's a hobby. And the truth of the matter is, this Goldie business is keeping me kind of busy lately.
I'm catching this up.
Okay, hook me up.
Chad
What
said,
kind of needy?
are you planning to rent out a campground, or are you thinking backwoods?
It's kind of an open public camping area on state land.
State land.
Is where we're looking at, but we'll see eventually if that spot's viable. We're actually going to go recon it, I think, tomorrow or the next day. We were down there earlier in the season, but we haven't checked it out during like the season now when the camping is in full swing.
Okay,
So-
the woodsman said, that's bitchin', man, working on that in my area, but on my land, get the locals together.
That'd be cool. I would do it on my land too. I got 8.25 acres. I have room for a few people, but I just not really comfortable yet with just inviting random cats and dogs. Like there's some of you, as a matter of fact, I would absolutely invite here. But there's some of you I probably shouldn't invite here. So, I mean, take offense. If you take offense, then you probably are the ones that shouldn't be invited here. You know what I mean? So, I don't know what to say about that. I don't want to just open my land to random people that I don't know. Like when we have kindred gatherings and we bring in new people, we vet them. We meet for coffee, maybe twice. We go have a beer. We get to know these people until we're comfortable with them. And then it's like, okay, I'm comfortable enough to trust you at my house. But when it starts coming, like these people, like he can just show up. His kids are in there ransacking my house right now. And he can just show up whenever he wants. And he can show up on a Thursday before the
You
gathering
don't
and
even
just
have to be here. he
and
can show
sleep
up.
all weekend. Yeah, he knows where the keys are, or maybe
No, I don't.
you might even have your own, honestly. I don't know.
I don't really need keys though. I was a locksmith.
He knows where the keys are at.
All right, so here's another question. Pootie Klein
Yeah.
said, not sure if you guys remember me, but I've asked a few questions about moots, and now we are hosting stuff in central Illinois, trying to create and drum up community.
I don't know the name, unless he asked on Facebook or something under a different name. I don't remember the name Hootie. Do you?
But he said he appreciates the insight that we provide too.
Cool. Yeah,
But,
I mean, we're
yeah,
trying.
He's doing his own moot now.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what I want. Like, that's my goal. Like, you guys don't even know. Like, my goal when we started this channel was I just want to show people, because we came out of the woodwork. We had been Asatru. We've been Asatru for a long time. And we had a big falling out with the Asatru Alliance. We kicked Valgard Murray, the leader of the Alliance, out of our kindred. And then we just kind of went internal for a long time. And then the kindred just kind of spread around the country. If you were with our TikTok live last night, you'll see that my Goldie Hawken called me last night and I had to cancel. I've never, ever canceled a call from him, but I had to throw him to voicemail because I was already live. So we talked a lot and we communicated a lot. We were always there for each other and even flew around the country to visit with each other, but we never had any big gatherings again and we missed it. So we created this kindred. That guy right there was the first one we called and said, hey, how do you feel about this idea? And then, and we built this kindred out of that. And we thought, you know what? There are a lot of people out there alone, Norse heathens or eclectic pagans that are trying to go down the Norse path, alone, wondering how this is supposed to work. There's no good books. I'm waiting to pick up the Rites of Odin and try and figure out how to do a bloat. Like, that's garbage. I mean, I guess it's okay if you're a kid playing, but if you really want to get serious about it, there's a point where you have to take it to the next level. And we all started with that same damn book, but there's a point where you got to take it to the next level.
It kind of gets you, it gives you that hunger, because you find out once you go through it and stuff, you're like, man, this is not enough.
Yeah.
It's
That's a
not
good way to look at it.
necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not enough at all.
And the problem with that book is that book says, do this, do this, do this. It basically creates a dogma that when we're coming from another religion, like I came here from being a Catholic, so I looked at this book and I'm like, this is the way it has to be done, right? I got to follow this. That's how it is. You got to follow the rules, right? Or it doesn't work. And so it took me a long time to get away from that and decide that I can do whatever I want. I can do it however I want. And I decided that I want to recreate as much as I can, et cetera, the way that we've been talking about it. So I decided that this is how I want to do heathenry. And then after all of that, when Gallahorn kind of fucking poof went to the winds, we decided we missed it and we wanted to do it again. And we looked on YouTube. We're like, let's see because we already had our other YouTube channel was like 14,000 or something. We already had a YouTube channel, and we wanted to see like what are people doing nowadays? Like what's the landscape look like? And I was disgusted. I was disgusted at what's out there. There's a couple of academics who are like sitting around and talking about it and theorizing about it, and they're intellectuals and they're saying this is what the book says and this is what the story says and this is what the thing says. And then somebody goes out to do a ritual and it's just appalling. And it's like, if this is the only resource that people have, like that might have called to some people. I'm not calling you out if it does. If it does, then that's great. Then that's what you need. But for me, it was appalling. And I was like, we have to provide some other option. Like we have to show people how we do it in the Gjallarhorn. And if that appeals to them, I think that a lot of the just like regular normal baseline, like if you're like an extreme plugin or you just want to LARP or that kind of stuff, there's an area of Asatru custom made for you. If you just want to burn a candle to the goddess and do your eclectic pagan thing once in a blue moon or sprinkle some salt on your altar or whatever the hell you guys do, there's a place for you for that. But there didn't seem to be a place, or at least representation, for people who were just kind of like midline, normal people, by all other accounts, that happen to be pagan or heathen and want to just honor the gods in a ritualistic manner that's at least somewhat based on history and not completely and totally Jim Road circus sideshow. So we decided that we would provide that. And the truth is we're not really growing that much. So we're probably the outliers, honestly. But that's okay because there's enough people that want to see something else, that want an option. And we're just providing that option. That was kind of the whole point.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to catch me back?
Yes.
Am I just rambling on?
You are starting to. So Max Proberg said good evening.
Hi.
Anthony said he likes rum. I like rum too.
Yo.
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 Yo. Oh.
We got to keep it together, though.
Okay. Where was I?
Black and rum.
Haywood Locke said, I totally screwed up my huckleberry mead experiment. I fermented the berries for a month and it just turned into a musty, strong wine instead of mead.
Yeah, you got to strain that stuff. You really need to get the juice in there. If you put in the whole fruit, you can't leave that there longer than... If I put in whole fruit, I don't leave it longer than 3 weeks. Preferably, I try to get it out in 2. If you can get just the juice in there, you'll do a lot better. And huckleberry just doesn't work with mead. Not with me. I won't waste a mead on a huckleberry. Peach, though, boy, you're in a different arena with that one.
Did he drink the whole thing though? Because like sometimes the beginning is but like if you drink the whole thing, especially in a sitting, the last part is fucking awesome.
Basically,
Okay, well, you'll really love this. When I was telling you, Hootie Klein was talking about doing starting his own moots in central Illinois. Well, there's a side conversation going on, and he is now going to give Zach the moot info. So it might have disconnected.
And that's the point. That was the point. If we can inspire people, if we can maybe show people how we do it, and if that gets people's juices flowing. If you don't do it the same way we do, I'm not going to call you out. I don't really care. There's other channels on YouTube. I would love to troll them, honestly, but it's not worth the effort. You won't let me. It's just not worth the effort, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make this community stronger. It just makes us look petty.
We gotta bring each other up, man.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't about bringing each other down. There's
Yeah.
too much of that with everything.
That's a fact.
Okay, so the woodsman said, would love to hang man, but we're a good distance. I'm in NWPA countryside. Was that Northwest
Pennsylvania. Yeah. That's a legit hike right there.
And Hootie Klein said, don't want to post it here since this isn't my stream.
If he starts now, though, I mean, he could Forrest Gump his way here.
Yeah. We could meet in the middle. We meet in Minnesota or something. Hit the boundary waters.
Okay, so
you got a canoe?
Here's a serious question. Papa Matt story times. Off topic. Team Vader or Team Obi-Wan?
What did he say?
Team Vader or Team Obi-Wan? Serious question.
That's not that. I don't know. I don't watch that.
Star Wars?
Like from the new one?
I mean, Star Wars is okay, but if
Is there a new one out?
Team Vader or Team Jedi?
probably Vader.
What?
Probably Vader.
It's not.
Those
It's
Jedis are a
Sith
bunch
or
of
Jedi.
Those Jedis are a bunch of troublemakers. They always have been. They have. Yeah. I think Vader got a raw deal.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Personally, I think Vader got a raw deal. You know? Like Obi-Wan knew that Vader was Luke's dad, right? Why didn't he tell him the whole freaking time? He had to
Well,
sick him on his own dad before his dad had enough.
kinda
That was kind of a dick move, Obi-Wan, right? So, and I don't even watch this shit, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm Team Vader, I guess, if I got to pick one. So,
Okay. Chad would like to know, what's the typical steel that you use for your knives?
If it's a carbon steel knife, I don't have a typical steel. My folding knives are all 154 CM, or CPM 154, one of the two. They're kind of interchangeable. And then I use 154 CM for fixed blade knives, or I use various different manufacturers of Damascus. I like the Norse themed Damasteel, like Thor, Damasteel, Damascus. And then for just the standard fixed blade knives, I run pretty heavy with 1095 on my smaller ones or my belt knives. And then if you start getting big, like those choppers, like the Sachs and that big chopper, those are generally a 1080 or something like that. 5160 I use a lot as well. That's like leaf spring material. But I actually buy the stock. I don't use leaf spring. So 5160 and 1080 on the big ones, on the monsters, 1095 on the small ones. And then 154 CM, CPM 124.
Life the Longhorn just popped on and said, hello, mein kin.
Hola, kinsman.
Hey, brother!
We have a kinsman in the comment section. We're taking over the world.
Leif the Legolas.
I like that better.
The Legolas.
Leaf of the wood.
Leaf of
Sounds
the
like
woods.
morning.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Come on now. Okay, so Haywood Locke says, one of my bucket list dreams is to forge an Uthbart sword.
Uthbart? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be an Uthbart if you forged it, but I think that was kind of a manufacturer thing. Man, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there like 150 of those things found so far? I don't know. It's a very nice sword with the Uthbart runic inscription on it. So, but I think I recall that there was a whole lot of different ones that bared that same inscription, and they really don't know who it was or how it was made. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing one. Like, it'd be fun.
Okay, so Hootie Klein said, I've emailed you guys and commented on other videos.
Cool.
And Zach says, do you guys watch Wisdom of Odin? And if so, what do you think of him and his work?
Okay, here's the deal with Wisdom of Odin. This is what got me, is that he said that he was a waiter and he had some epiphany. Maybe he was out smoking a cigarette and saw a raven with a cigarette butt or something. And he decided that Odin plucked him out of Christianity and decided that he would be the messenger to the people. And he would be the people's messenger without any information whatsoever. So he's like, hey, you're going to be my messenger to the people, but I'm not going to teach you what to do. So you're just going to go out there and look like a fool. He looks like a fool. He looks like a con man. I think he's a fucking racist. And I don't want anything to do with him, and I don't even want to be mentioned in the same category as him. There are absolutely people that he serves. If I was to jump on his feed and badmouth him in front of his people, I guarantee that I would get attacked. I think the guy is an ass clown, and he's abusing the community to make money. That's it. I do not have a problem to make money for the community if you're providing a service. But when you're just saying, donate to me so I can buy land, donate to me so I can build a foundation. Donate to me and I'll never give back and I'll look like an asshole and I'll give you a bunch of bullshit theories. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I don't like the guy and I don't think he's doing a service to the community. That's it.
Generation.
That's it. But there are people who respond to that. There are people who need that side of the Asatru coin as opposed to just a more moderate baseline. And If he can really, really clear himself from the AFA and from the racist side, then I might change my attitude about him. But as it is right now, he hasn't really broken free of that. And there's a lot of stuff going back and forth that says he's a supporter or this kind of stuff. And I've got personal, not internet, theoretical beef with the AFA. I've got personal beef between me and Steve McNallen that goes back many generations, or not generations, but many years. Anybody that supports that asshole is on my hit list. So that's it. So hope that answers the question. I can say what the hell I want.
Okay, so Hootie Klein said, LOL, the dude who sounds like he's in recovery.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed that. Hi, my name is Dumbass, and I'm a Norse pagan. That is the most AA, and that's cool. Like you're in AA or Narcotics Anonymous or something. If you're in the program, that's fine. But being a heathen or a pagan in today's world shouldn't sound like you're apologetic or in recovery for it.
Yeah,
that really offends me, the way that he does his introduction. And another guy, which I actually kind of like, is My Norse Pagan Journey, but he does the same thing. He kind of does the same thing. I am XYZ, and this is My Norse Pagan Journey. So it's a little better, but it almost seems like it's just a little different. Like they took that one and made it a little different in order to be same enough. But I don't want to, this is the community. And as long as they're not openly excluding people, bashing on people, or creating these little wars between each other, then I'm okay with whatever they're doing. There are people that go to that, and there are people that come to this, and there's people that go to other stuff. And that's perfectly fine. There's plenty of room for everybody in this community. It's just not my thing. But as long as they're not starting wars and starting conflicts between other creators and pagans and heathens, then that's okay. I just find it very odd. I was 28 years, 29 years on the path before I felt that what I had was worth telling people and showing people. I can't imagine at my 2-year mark or 1-year mark or 6-month mark that I had any information that was worth a shit to anybody unless I could wrap it up in a nice little bow and sell it. And that's all he's doing. That's the problem. He doesn't have any information that's really worth what he's getting for it. So whatever.
77 Smack said, hello.
Howdy.
What a time to come in.
Yeah, perfect. That's good because I needed the distraction.
Leaf said, figured I'd toss you guys on while I get some dishes done.
Okay, do your dishes, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
Just so you know, Leaf is our son, and he was born into the Galahorn Kindred. He was born Asatru. She was running around pregnant at Bloat with Leaf, and now here he is, a grown man, Gen 2 Asatru, potentially working on Gen 3, what?
What?
Hell, Freya.
Hell, Freya.
Oh, man.
He's going to be like, no.
Leaf is like, if anybody walks it, talks it, looks it, his whole life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Leaf's true
Like,
blue.
At any given day, if you happen to be at Walmart in Spokane, you might see Leaf roaming around in a kilt, boots, and a handmade pack basket.
Quest basket.
Leather bracers.
He made bracers not just to wear around, but for work. And he wears them every day.
Yeah, Leaf lives it. Leaf is heathen por vida.
Povida?
Por vida, for life.
He looks like Legolas, though.
Yes. He's the one that looks like Legolas.
That's why we call him Leg.
Is
Well, I
that
call
why
him Leg. Leaf
Leaf,
the leg.
leaf the legs of
I
Les.
always call him Leg.
Okay, whatever. What do we got?
All right, so Hootie Klein said, "Woo makes me think of those super stadium churches."
Yeah, it kind of seems like that. For me, it's just a sideshow, and I get it. He's
Joel
He's
Osteen.
here's the way, like, because I used to get mad, like.
Real quick, Max Fover said, "Glad I could catch you for a little bit while. Take care." He's leaving.
Okay, see you later, man. Thanks for stopping in. So here's the thing that I've noticed with Wu, and I don't want to badmouth anybody in the community. I really don't. But he's an entertainer, and he's providing a service. I don't even know if he believes what he says. His Horg looks like a freaking
Okay, so Haywood Locke.
animal parts dumping ground. So
Hayward Locke said, I agree, Wu is a snake oil salesman.
snake oil salesman, that's a good term. But I generally reserve that term specifically for Stephen McNallen and occasionally for Valgard Murray. But yeah, I guess he would be a snake oil salesman too. The problem is he just doesn't know what he's doing. I wish that he would have taken a little more time to learn before he started teaching. That's the problem. I've seen it all over the Marine Corps. People who, like I've seen people graduate Scout Sniper School and want to come back, go on one little stupid deployment and want to come back and be an instructor at Sniper School. And it's like, wait a second, dude. You got one deployment or no deployments. You just graduated. You're about as boot can be. And you want to come here and train people? Why don't you go get some freaking experience? That's really what I kind of look at him under the same lens. Go get experience. Go learn. Go fail. Go run down some of these roadblocks. Don't just be like, oh, look, I found this new thing. This is the new awesome thing. Everybody come join me and let's do the thing. And then you realize that it's bullshit and a lie. And you're like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. I'm learning too. Let's go find the new thing. This is the new thing. Let's do the thing. And it's really exhausting.
Okay,
So learn the quiet first, man.
Yeah, right.
Zach49 said, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can be, is honest. I mean, I'm sure that he's got fans, and I'm sure they hate me when I talk about it, but if somebody asks a question, I'll never bring it up, but if somebody asks a question, I got to be honest about it.
Leaf said, love you guys.
Yeah, I love you too, buddy.
And Chad M said, the problem with Wu and some of the other YouTubers I know of is that they have their own agenda, be it politics, money, or some other kind of personal gain.
Well, YouTube is a money game.
It's
Like,
just
I
a
am
name
not...
shame.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, eventually, we wouldn't mind monetizing this platform and making a little money. Like, there's an ungodly amount of effort that goes into just putting out the few. We've been on this platform forever, and we've got other monetized channels. And this one, we just started this channel in January, and the amount of effort we put into this is triple what we put into any of our other channels. Yeah. And it would be nice to get. But right now the only way we can monetize it is we can point you guys to our website and be like, hey, if you want to buy some of our handmade stuff or some of the other stuff that we import or whatever, then that would be real helpful and helps us move forward. But I don't have an issue with people making money on the religion. If you're going to really be truly dedicated to it and you're going to spend so much time and effort researching and studying and practicing and filming and editing and uploading and doing metadata and all that kind of stuff, there should be you should get some value out of it. If you're giving people value, you should be able to mine some value out of it in some way, shape, or form. I don't have any problem with that. I'll never say that, oh, he's making money on his people. No, but when you start saying, buy me this, buy me land, and you're not giving back a fair amount of value, that's kind of where it comes in for me. And it's, I don't know, like, I don't have a problem with it. Any thing that takes great effort should have some compensation to go with it, because the truth of the matter is it's hard to live right now. It's just hard to live right now. There's very few people who can just put so much time and effort and money and equipment and hosting and shit. We probably, just on this channel alone, we probably put out $40 or $50 a month just for hosting and Epidemic Sound for music and our Canva, because we use Canva video clips and editing for our thumbnails and for some of our inserts in the video. But between all the different subscription services that we have to apply to just to keep this channel looking as professional as it does, we're down for at least $50 a month, and we don't make a dime on it, not a dime. So,
not yet.
Yeah, but I mean, my point is, you can't begrudge someone for making a little money if they're putting an honest effort in giving real value to the people. So our goal right now is not to worry about money. Our goal is to give people value. And hopefully it sounds like that's happening. So that's the goal right now. We'll give people value until we can't afford to give people value anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
but if you want to support us, we can, somewhere around here is a link to our website, probably up in the top or something. And that's the best way to do it, because, that's where the rest of our time goes, is trying to make stuff to sell.
Yeah, and we're also working on a Patreon where we can do like inside the gathering kind of things and
behind the scenes type stuff. And I mean, you guys might not know it, but like nightly, I'm on the phone with new people that are in Onset Troop. Maybe some of you I've actually talked to on the phone. But even on TikTok, I've said it multiple times. Send me an email at this email address. Give me your phone number, your time zone, and a good time to call, and I'll find a time to call, and we'll talk. And sometimes I talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours with these people, and just help them kind of find resources, books, talk about things that they've been kind of going over in their head and they can't really order correctly. If I don't know, I am perfectly happy saying, I don't know. You know, let's figure it out together. Or you run it down on this end, I'll run it down on this end, and then we'll call each other or text each other again in a week. But I'm on the phone every week or every day, coaching people and talking to people about it. Like Asatru truly is a passion for me. It is my religion. It is my way. And I want to help people discover it in a way that makes it usable for them. Not just some kind of cool game they can play for 2 years and then go back to Catholicism or whatever. You know, like I want people to come to here, find something that's usable to them, explore it in a way that makes sense, that's practical with our own lifestyles in the modern age, and then, you know, move that into the future. That's the only way that my children and your children and their children after them are going to be able to know how to do this, is if we do the hard work now. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
You should send Sindri. Actually, I want a beer. I want to give you a beer.
I will.
Okay.
I'll get you spinning, and then I'll get you a beer.
Yeah, you know I'll just start talking. She's gonna pull my string. So
Okay.
a cow says moo.
Personal opinion from Hootie Klein.
A Viking says R.
There is a lot of decent info out on YouTube, but so far the only neutral teachers I have found is you guys and Raven's Call.
Raven's Call. I don't know that.
Mm-mm.
Do we know that?
Mm-mm.
I'll look it up.
I'll
look it up.
screen
I
it.
like
Okay, I will go.
what was that? Freya Norling. I like her channel, but it's kind of like the Sammy Magic channel. I don't look at it for religious inspiration, but I like the kind of the eclectic magic path too. It's not something that we really incorporate into our channel. We don't do a lot of rune stuff, although I'm thinking about potentially doing a little bit of rune stuff just to kind of give people a primer and something they can work with. But I like the kind of the eclectic magic thing. I like some of the herbology of it, although I'm not an herbalist. I like the medicinal mushrooms. I like some of the shamanic stuff that goes into it. I'm just not really adept at it like I am with the actual path of designing and crafting ritual to meet our current needs. He said he's a Gothi in Texas. That's cool. Like there's a lot of cool people in Texas. I may even end up down in Texas in August. Or September. Yeah, I think it was September. I was being invited down there for something unrelated. But yeah, I mean, we're a really small channel. Like all these other channels are huge compared to us. Like you're 30, 40, 50,000, 60,000, 100,000 subscribers. Jackson Crawford's channel is huge. I like some of his Jackson Crawford's information too. He's got a nice channel. I think probably of all the YouTubers that are talking about this kind of stuff, the one I like the most currently is Arith Herger, which I think he's in Norway. Maybe he's in Sweden. He's an anthropologist or a cultural anthropologist, I think. And he has a really cool way to present information and doesn't sound arrogant and doesn't sound like a know-it-all. And he actually sounds like he is invested in the path in a true, honest, like heartfelt way. And it's not like, I'm sure he's making money on it, but it doesn't sound like he's a profiteer. You know, it doesn't sound like he's just trying to fatten his bank account at other people's expenses. Not sneaking up on people. That's what I'm not doing.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to 1,470,000 people on the internet right now.
Wait, you're filming?
No, I'm not filming. I'm live.
Guess whose kid that is? Okay, fresh haze or fresh
Here.
squeezed?
The close one.
Okay, Lily, we're live.
We're live. We're talking to over 1 million people right now.
Yeah, I'm famous now.
I'm actually totally lying. There's like 12 people here. Yeah, 12 people. It's 12 people spread around the country. Look, he lost interest completely. Yeah, where are we at?
Okay, so
Anyway, Arif, yeah, he's got a really cool channel. I like it a lot.
Can I play with one of these wood things?
What would things?
That?
nope.
No, those aren't play. Those are patterns, buddy. If you break one, then I lose that knife. I make them out of metal. Those are just my patterns.
Yep. We'll find a stick to turn into
Go
one.
find a stick.
All right. So we have. Let's see. I'm getting lost here. So Chad M said, I feel there's a difference between making money by teaching and exploitation. It seems some of them are really into the exploitive side.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I won't get into it, but I would agree with that.
Hootie Klein said, neutral, very little personal agenda pushed, just information.
And who's that? Is that one in Texas?
Oh, us and Raven's Call.
Oh, Raven's Call, yeah. I'm going to check them out. I hadn't seen them. I wonder how big of a channel they are.
I don't know.
I mean, I've searched a lot, and, some of the stuff comes up, and
Oh my.
I see some small channels pop up, some big channels pop up. I don't know. Maybe I've seen them before. I don't know.
If you could type in there. Let's see.
Yeah.
My computer's down here because I was.
It's cool, though. I mean, if they got a decent channel and they're providing good content, I'll certainly follow. I mean, I follow a bunch of channels that I don't even like just because I kind of I still want to know what's popular. A lot of people are kind of jumping on the old Roe versus Wade garbage right now, and I don't really want to go there, even though I could probably speak intelligently on it, at least from our ancestors' perspective. But there's other people doing that. I'm not really trendy like that. And then a lot of people watched that Northman show and did a lot of reviews and stuff on that. It's just not, the pop culture thing isn't the thing I want to jump on. I want to find the next usable ritual and show people how we would do it, and then find the next usable ritual, or have a kindred gathering and show what real kinship looks like. Not this fake ass, let's take off our shirts and dance around the fire and pound on chests and then go our own separate ways for the next 6 months. But like real kinship,
I don't see anything on Raven's Call.
And that's what we
Sorry.
have. And yeah, and I'm actually setting up to start doing a podcast too. Yet another time expenditure with no money input. So that's
Well,
gonna
time and money
because it'll cost me $18 a month to host it.
Yeah.
But I mean, nobody else is putting the information. Like I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and get the information out there, and then once I can't afford to do it anymore, at least the information's there and it's available for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll either get to the point where it can pay for itself, because that's really all I want. I can make enough money in my shop. I don't need that, but I'd at least like to have it pay for itself. That'd be really cool. Yeah. Or at least at the bare minimum, the information's out there as best as I can craft it, and then it's there. It's there for those that are looking for it, for those who need it. What are your guys' thoughts on Jackson Crawford? Okay, I started talking about Crawford a second ago. I like his information. He admittedly doesn't believe in magic, and I think that his inability to comprehend that the gods work in magic, that magic is the technology of the gods, clouds his judgment when it comes to translating the works. I think he translates very... minus his books. I don't like his books, but we'll get there in a second. I think his translations that he does are very grammatically correct, I guess is the right way to say it. But he doesn't read between the lines, and he doesn't believe in any of the magic, and he doesn't believe in any of the mystery of any of it. He doesn't believe there's magic and mystery in the runes. He just thinks that they're letters. And I don't like... admittedly, I haven't looked at his books. I haven't bought them or anything. When I find one at Goodwill, I'll pick it up, but I'm not giving him my money.
Yeah, Goodwill.
I'll probably find one now that I mentioned it. But the problem with his books are he's late to the game. Okay, these books have been translated since they were discovered up until the 60s and 70s, and then it started getting like really weird and new age. But all of those translations are done. Like there's only so many words in the entire 164 stanzas of the Havamal. There's only so many words there, and they can only be translated so many different ways. You can translate it poetically. You can translate it for the meanings, for the basic soul of it, which I can't imagine he would possibly do, because he doesn't believe in it. So you can only translate it so many ways. So when you're the late guy, like the last one to do it, like Jackson Crawford, All you can do is you can translate it, and then you have to change it enough so that you're not infringing on someone else's copyright who translated it prior to you. So he has to make sure that his translation doesn't infringe Duchalou's or Hollander or any of the other dozens and dozens of translations. He has to make sure that it's just a little different, which means he has to take words that would normally be a very easy translation and change them to something else and change the meaning of the stanzas in order to meet his agenda of not infringing on someone else's copyrights, when in reality what he's doing is he's changing the fundamental basics of one of our most essential documents, which is the words of the High One. So when I see people online and they're like, what books do you recommend? Oh, Jackson Crawford's Poetic Edda and Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology. Both of those books are trash for the reasons I just said. There are so many better books out there. You could spend your money in so many better ways, like The Viking Age by Duchalou, like Hollander's Edda, or any other zillion different translation and ways to do it. I don't have anything against the guy. I don't know the guy, okay? I know he's doing pretty well on YouTube.
I heard he's a pretty nice guy.
I heard he's a pretty nice guy. He gets a lot of flack. Like, I'm sure that every time he goes for a book signing or something, he's got some plugins or some LARPers or some other people coming out of the woodwork and assaulting him and verbally and stuff. And I don't want to do that. I do want to say that he's the last translation, and in order to not be in copyright infringement, he has to change it enough to where he loses the essence that was there in the original version. So if you don't speak or read Old Norse or maybe Old Icelandic, if you don't speak or read those dialects, you're never going to be able to understand it for what it really is. So the only thing you can do is go as far back as you can and get the oldest translations possible that were translated without ever worrying about infringing on the other translator's copyright. That's really my thing. So Crawford's book is trash in that respect. And so is Gaiman's garbage book. I don't own Gaiman's book, but I did look at it at Barnes & Noble. I specifically took it off the shelf and flipped through every page of it, and I'm telling you right now, the book's trash. There's so many better versions that tell it as a story other than Neil Gaiman's. But that's all anybody says anymore. Crawford, Gaiman. There's so many better authors out there that did it for a pure academic reason. You know what? Duchalou didn't write this. He didn't do all this research and write these books because he wanted to make a killing, okay? Because he wanted to support his lifestyle. He did this for the academic research and the preservation of historical data. So the farther back you go, the more true to the source you're going to find, and the more noble the cause of the author. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this guy was a snake in the grass. I don't know, but it sure feels more noble.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Hoodie Klein said Raven's Call is the name of his show, but not his page, I guess. My bad. I think I have it pulled up because he also said it was about 3K, and he is a Godian, East Texas. So
Okay, we'll look it up.
That's something you can.
We have it down here, but I'm definitely going to look it up and I'll check his stuff out. And if so, I'll get in contact with him. I like talking to other people.
Haywood Locke said another YouTube channel I like besides you guys is Norse Magic and Beliefs.
I like him too. I actually watched his video this morning. I like some of his stuff. His rituals are lacking, I think, but I'm coming from a place where ritual is kind of like my specialty. His research and his academics are above par. They set the standard, I think, even more so than Ocean Keltoy. I think Norse Magic and Belief sets the standard for the research and stuff on YouTube. Maybe second only to Arith Thurgood. I like Arith better, I think. But mostly because he just knows how to present his data better. He sets the stage better. He has a good backdrop. He has good sound. He's not just laying it on his knee in his car and doing a video. So I find it a little off-putting when you're trying to get the information out and you can't take the time to actually stage it well enough to be, mildly entertaining or mildly visually pleasing. Yeah. So that kind of puts me off a little bit about Norse Magic and Beliefs, but I will say he does his research and I've back-checked a lot of his research, and he knows what he's doing. He's a good source. If you can get through the lack of commitment to the presentation. Where that's where Arith comes in, where he knows the research and he has the commitment to presentation. So that's kind of the difference there. Ocean Keltoy, some of his stuff is hit and miss, but his presentation is always exactly the same. Him sitting in the library, dreary background, kind of looking priestly without a priest collar. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on between he and Wolf the Red and Woo, Wisdom of Odin. Like they got this whole little dynamic going on where I don't even know if they hate each other. I think they just kind of use it to bounce off of each other and kind of feed each other's egos. And I'm not sure what's going on. It's a YouTube weird dichotomy that I'm not a part of, so I don't really care.
The rest of that comment about Norse magic and beliefs was he's based in Montana and offers a very down-to-earth perspective.
He's in Montana? I didn't know that. I thought he was in Norway.
I think he's from Norway, and I think he visits, like...
Just goes back and forth. I wonder where he's at in Montana.
We're in Montana a lot.
Ocean's puns are good, though. Probably. I'm not saying anything against Ocean. I do like his channel. I don't honestly watch very much. Sometimes if something comes up and it's a topic that I'm already in the middle of because I'm trying, like, if Ocean released a video this week about a naming ritual or a blessing or you know a name fasting or a water sprinkling or something like that, I would absolutely watch the video because I'm in the middle of researching that right now. The problem is their stuff isn't always in time with my research and I just don't have time for it. You know, but once in a while I'll go check out their videos and see what they have and bounce it off my own data because they may just pick that one little obscure resource that I haven't found yet, and I'll be like, I gotta run that one down and check it out and then add it to my lineup. So they're all a really good resource for me. The only one that I could really just live without, Wisdom of Odin.
Okay, so Memphis the Maine Coon.
Okay.
Said, thank you for the time and effort you put into the channel. You have been a huge inspiration.
Cool. And, you know, that's the goal. And I appreciate that you say that because that's the payment that we're getting right now is we're getting people saying, I didn't know where to turn. You've helped me. That's what I was looking for. That's what I needed. I appreciate that. When you say it like that, or when people send me emails and stuff like that, I really appreciate that. So thank you.
Okay. Real quick, I seen Quality of Life popped in and said, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man. What's up, dude?
He said, what's up, Buttercup?
Yeah. How's your search going, Ty? Are you finding your way in the Ostrich community? I know Ty personally. He's got a cool YouTube channel, so follow that link back to his if you're into kind of like the homesteading, maybe not prepper off grid type stuff,
Fix your own shit.
definitely homesteading. And he built a pretty epic barn that I'm super envious of. So, yeah. So check out Quality of Life. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so 77 Smack was wondering what Buddy was eating in the background.
Oh man, what's he chewing on?
Leftovers?
Yeah, it was like
And a wrap? I don't know. It was like Asian with
it was
Mexican influences.
leftover beef fried rice in a tortilla.
Nice. I didn't see that. I went in there and got all the rest of that roast beef with the onions.
Oh,
and
is that
stuff.
you?
Yeah, I didn't eat all the onions, but I ate the hell out of the rest of that roast beef.
I'm about to eat the rest of this one.
The what? Anyway, let's see. So, Chad M said, Jackson Crawford, I feel personally does a fairly good job in translation and speaking close to Proto-Norse within reason.
You're right. Okay.
But I do understand the magical aspect. I'd be interested to hear more on.
Yes. Like I said, Crawford's translations are on point. They're, like I said, literally they're genius. The problem is his books, and the books had to be translated and then changed enough to where they didn't infringe on the copyrights of the dozens and dozens of books that came before. That's where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with his channel. I don't have a problem with him. He seems like a really cool guy, maybe a little bit of an ego, but he earned it. I mean, he's got, 1 million followers or something? So he earned his ego.
You got kind of an ego too.
I got a little ego too, but more about the military stuff, not so much about this. And so I don't have a problem with that. I just say that there are way better books out there. And I'm where I'm at without ever having read Jackson Crawford's book or Neil Gaiman's. So those are not the be-all end-alls. There are better, more well-done copies out there. That's my whole thing.
So he's kind of went on a little bit about.
Okay, yeah.
And he said the topic regarding to magic. I mean,
Yeah, and I understand that. Yeah, because he admittedly doesn't believe in magic, whereas the rest of us, I would like to at least think that we do. I strongly believe that magic is the technology of the gods. And if you don't know what that means this. To a child, that's magic. They don't understand how it works. They don't understand how electricity works, how a light bulb works, how the switch works, anything. They just know that I just touched that thing and I made light happen or I made light go away. That is magic. Now, the gods have the ability to touch our lives in such a way where they make things happen or make things go away. We don't know how it works. We don't understand the technology, but it's magic. It's the technology of the gods. Maybe one day we may ascend to a level where we can understand it. We're just not there yet. Now, I don't understand how anybody, academic or otherwise, cannot believe in magic. Magic is, it's everywhere. It's just amazing. Yeah. So it is. It's everywhere and it's amazing. And so kind of like one of my more recent pursuits is to I'm really trying to unfold those layers of magic and trying to untangle it enough to get some usable magic. And I'm not talking about coming of age film like goofy magic like the Witches of Eastwick or so. I'm talking about like real magic. Like, I don't know. I don't have any good references. It's another one that could come to mind. But I know that there's like some teen flicks and stuff about magic, like Harry Potter and stuff. So
you haven't even seen Harry Potter.
I've never even seen it. So I never read the books either. No.
Great.
Yeah, we haven't seen it.
My point is
Fantastic.
that's not the kind of magic I'm trying to run down. But there are things that we can do that we can maybe not manipulate our environment, but we can definitely tell it what we want. And if it finds us worthy, it can make those things happen. That's a magic that we don't necessarily fully understand. So I'm trying to get as much as I can of that from the old sources and turn it into something that's usable. Ritual magic is 100% usable. And if you watch the next couple of videos we have coming out, especially the video where we bless these oath rings, I am talking about some legitimate magic that I have inadvertently performed and didn't know I was performing it, that have absolutely worked out better than I could have ever hoped, because I got lucky or I had the right intent or the right mindset. But now my job is to decode why those things worked. I really hope that you watch the video, because I'm going to talk about some stuff that I'm going to tell a story that you're going to be like, and I'm going to have physical proof as to why magic is real. It's not all just happenstance, and it's not all just coincidence. Magic is real, and I've been lucky with it a few times, and other times not so much. So why is that? What's the pattern? What's the formula that I can use to create consistent results time after time? That's what I'm working on now. And when I figure it out, I'm going to tell you. But I'm not going to sit here on the path and tell you all my dead ends, like some of those people who will be 2 days into an experiment and they selling it like it's gospel. And I can't do that. When I figure it out, when I got the code, you got it too. Right? But that could be 30 years. I don't know.
I mean, I was like selling a t-shirt that says that. Like, when I got the code, you got it too. I'm totally making a t-shirt.
So yeah, we do have a Teespring too. So if you really want to support the channel and you want to wear Northwoods Kindred swag, we got some pretty good swag. So we have that on Teespring.
I gotta make some more swag though.
Well, in some of our videos, all of our videos got the links down in the bottom. It's not going to be in this because it's a live, but if you really want to support us, go to our website or go to our Teespring and stuff. So at least we can give you value for the value you give back to us.
Okay, so Quality of Life said he's looking into it, and he's more of a homestead maker channel.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Somebody was leaving. Who's the last one? Go down to the bottom. Who?
Okay, who declines said got to go back to work, but we'll try and come back. If not, have a good night. And if you are all ever in Central Illinois, I'll introduce you to a horseshoe. Look it up. Hey, we know how to play horseshoes.
Well, we know how to play horseshoes, so I'm not sure what you're talking about, but we'll see. So,
have a good night, Hoodie.
Man, we were just there too. We just drove through there last September. So, well, actually, that's coming up on a year now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like last month, don't it?
It does.
Yeah.
So let's see. Zach49 said, I practice ritual alone since I haven't found anyone up by me. Is it possible to baptize yourself, or do you need someone to do it for you?
Oh, I think you can do it yourself. I think you could do it yourself. I think really what you're doing is you're cleansing yourself and you're professing your your dedication to the Norse gods. And I think that if you're not afraid to design your own ritual, then I have a video up here for a solo bloat. It might actually be one of the first ones you found when you found us. Watch the solo bloat video and then wait for our name fastening and baptismal video that's going to be coming out really soon, and then just combine the two. Just do it to yourself. Just bathe yourself. Do your own.
We could maybe do a nice 2-3 minute TikTok video.
I might be able to throw that together. I mean, I'm already committed to the gods, but I don't think it would hurt to just do another one just for instructional purposes.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
they're gonna be like, oh, that guy, and then the gods are gonna be like, oh, that guy is doing that thing again.
I mean, he's got really good meat, so let's go say hi.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna totally put that on the list because that sounds like.
Okay, we'll throw that on the list, and we'll see if we can get one done soon. It'll probably just do it in a TikTok video. So I hope you follow us on TikTok. If not, at least join our Facebook group because sometimes we share those videos. But believe me, TikTok is the place to be with us. This is for the long form, more instructional content and these kind of lives. And then our TikTok is really just a lot of really sweet little nuggets of information. And even some of the videos that are here, we chop up the good stuff and toss that over on TikTok too. But a lot of TikTok is me answering questions, in 3 minutes or less. It's me answering questions in 3 minutes or less. I think it was Hootie said it was a sandwich, the horseshoe.
Oh, it's a sandwich. Ooh,
Yeah. I like sandwiches.
We like to eat.
We like to eat in the Northwoods.
What's your TikTok name, babes?
Northwoods Kindred. No dots, no dashes, no underscores, no nothing. Northwoods Kindred.
So, for some reason, I can't get it on my phone. So
What are you trying to do? What are you doing?
Put it in the next video idea, but I can't put it on my phone because my thing won't come up.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
you
reading
just
comments. I just
Scribble it down. Okay. I was wondering what that had to do with what's my TikTok name.
Oh, Quality of Life said, "What's your TikTok name?"
Oh, same thing.
You were talking about TikTok and you
Okay.
threw it up.
Yeah.
He said, "Following now."
Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah. We do a lot of content up there. We're getting some scraps too.
You have a lot of rants.
We're getting some scraps.
You get some scraps.
I'm getting some scraps. That's fine. It's fun.
You do have a lot of fun.
I do. I enjoy TikTok very much. And not only
Our daughter talked him into it.
the cool thing about TikTok is I enjoy not only making videos, engaging with people, but I actually enjoy consuming TikToks too. I mean, Norse Talks, I'm all over it. There's kind of a lot of LARPers and plugins and stuff doing their thing, but they're kind of fun to watch. And I get it. Like, would this channel be? You guys can answer me because the 13 of you are the ones that matter right now. Would this channel be more exciting if I put on my Viking helmet or my wolf skin? I got a wolf skin. I got tunics. I got kilts. I got boots. I got swords. I got axes. I got I got spears. I got it. I got it all. Would this channel be better? Would it serve people better? Would I get more interaction if I dressed the part when we did it? Because I won't do it all the time, but I may do it because I see some of the TikTokers and they dress the part 100% to the point where you actually kind of wonder about their legitimacy in the community, but you dress the part, right? We only physically dress the part, really. I mean, when you see us in ritual and this is how we dress. Like, you see the hoods and the kilts and the boots and stuff. That's how we dress normally. So we don't do anything special just for bloat, except, like I said, 2 points of the year, winter nights and Yule. We dress for those bloats.
Winter night.
This is my winter nights headdress. Yes, I built it all myself. And so we're going to talk about magic. Okay, we're doing that, and I'm going to talk about a little magic with this. Do you see these banding? These are banding straps. Okay, these are.
Okay, this is a story.
This is a decent story. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, where I'm trying to decode why does it work so well for me sometimes and other times not. So this is a banding strap, and there's they band lumber or whatever they do with it. And I got friends, we have kinsmen in construction and plumbers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm calling these people and I'm like, do you have any of the steel banding straps? And I was actually looking for the ones that were, not the 1.25 inch, but the ones that are like 3/4 inch, the little narrower ones. That's what I was looking for to try and find them. And I was like, do you have any banding straps at all? And he's like, no, but if I see any, I'll snag them up because it's all just garbage anyway. And I'm like, okay. So then I call Home Depot and they're like, no, everybody uses plastic now. And I called Pacific Steel and Recycling. I'm like, yeah, it's a steel recycling place. Like, they got to have a bin full of that shit. I'll pay for weight or whatever. Because I knew I wanted to build these, just the halo, the framework, out of banding straps. And I was called Pacific Steel. And they're like, nope, we don't have anything like that. Nobody makes it anymore. And I'm like, okay. So I start making, for the Kindred, I start knocking these together. And they're just spot welded. I just spot welded them with my little spot welder over there. And so I start knocking them together, and they're kind of crappy. I'm just using like old saw blades and stuff, like little thin, 1/2 inch wide bandsaw blades, because it's all I have. And so I'm out hunting in the mountains, up on the mountain here, and I drive my truck down a road to park, and I park there, and I look over, and there's like this one banding strap, just like this little piece of it sticking up out of the ground. So I'm like, that's banding strap, I'll go check it out. And I pull that, and it never stops. Like, it's just pulling and pulling. And then when it comes up, it pulls up another one, and I pull that one, and I ended up with like 3 or 4, like big, giant chunks of, like pallet size banding straps. And I'm like, where did this mess? It's just laying out here in the forest, absorbed by the forest. Only a little piece was even sticking up. So I took it all, and I brought it back, and I cut off all the bad spots, and we used those pieces. And every member of the Kindred got to build their own headdress, built solid and sturdy and rugged. And next year we'll add to them, we'll build them out, we'll flesh them out. These things will last us an entire lifetime. That was given to me by the gods. And if you don't see that as a technology, if you don't see that as magic, I wanted it, I needed it, it was not available anywhere. I put it out to the universe, and it appeared at the most unlikely time. The point was that I was aware, I knew what I wanted, and when I was presented with it, I was in the position to acquire it. I put it out there and I acquired it. It's kind of a neat story, I think, at least, because I ended up getting it. It wasn't 4 or 5 days before we were set to make these, right?
Yeah.
It was very soon. It
cool.
showed up in the nick of time. And our life is just a series of those kind of events. And if that's not magic, I don't know what magic is. But the problem is, I cast that spell, and I don't know how I did it. Now the problem is I have to decode. How do you cast those spells? How do you tell the universe what you want in a way where it decides to give it to you, or at least let you know that you're unworthy? So that's really my pursuit right now when it comes to decoding magic. And I know I got a little long-winded with that, but it was a very cool story, and it matters. In the big scheme of things, it actually matters.
Okay,
So-
Quality of Life said, I need to get on your channel more. I don't seem to spend any time on YouTube watching or uploading anymore.
Yeah, Ty, you should actually come visit. You're welcome here anytime. Especially if you're actually still going down the Norse path and you actually want to attend a gathering and stuff. You don't need to be vetted. I know you. You're welcome here anytime. So if you actually want to attend a gathering, if you want to make the trip, because I know you've got some distance.
We do have our birthday coming up.
Yeah, we have a big birthday gathering coming up here real
Kindred's
soon.
Birthday.
And we will have Bloat, and we will have Summel, and we will have other guests.
We'll have birthday maypole because
Birthday maypole, because we have a maypole, and we do the maypole in May, and or maybe sometimes we can't get it done and we push it to midsummer, and that's fine. But most of the time, midsummer should be reserved for our camping trip. And then July is our birthday. So we'll celebrate 2 things in July. We'll do a maypole, of course, because we have a maypole, so why not use it?
Well, we also have our kinsmen have their kids for the summer.
Yes.
So we're gonna have children to be able.
Yeah, they don't have their kids in May, but they have them in June and July. So kids love the maypoles. We're gonna do that with them. And people are gonna say, well, that's not historic. That's not the right time. It's not the right event. You know what? I don't really care. If you don't think it's historic enough, then unsubscribe and carry on, buddy. Go watch Woo's channel. That's maybe okay, right?
Okay, so Anthony Hayes said, thank you and all you've done and helping me from time to time with this path.
No problem, Anthony. And you got my number now, so you just call me. Just call me, man.
Let's see. Quality of Life has a different name on TikTok, so.
Mm.
But he went and followed us.
Yeah, just shoot me a quick message or a comment. Even if you just make just one simple comment on any video and say, hey, it's Ty, then I'll know who you are. So
Nero Zero, I guess that's how you say it. It's just Nero, because there's a big zero. at the
oh,
end.
okay.
I butcher names all the time. Nero said, hey, how's it going, guys? And do what is true.
Okay, if he's saying do what is true, he's probably talking about the dress-up game.
Yes. That's
Okay.
when that came in.
And that's what we do. This is who we are. And there's a lot of people who are like us. There's a lot of I'm almost 50 years old. I don't have time to play games. I don't have time to dress up. If I'm dressing up, it's because it's time to dress up. It's time to have fun.
Okay.
Because nobody says, nowhere is it written in any of the documents anywhere, does it say that it shouldn't be fun, that you shouldn't enjoy honoring the gods and honoring your kinsmen and honoring your family and honoring your ancestors. There's nowhere does it say you shouldn't be able to enjoy that. And sometimes in order to enjoy that, you got to kind of break the mold, right?
Yep. Okay, quality of life. These are a few comments.
Okay.
Right down the line. Try it on a few videos and see if the videos take off, which is the ritual dress.
Yeah, maybe.
He wants to make a hood like the simple ones we have.
We did a video on that. I don't know. Do we have a video on this channel or is it on our other one?
We have them on both channels.
Okay,
we
both
double dipped.
Yeah, some videos we double dip. If we're doing something on this channel and it's building or making something, we also re-edit the video and put it on our making channel too. So we double dip a little bit.
So that would be in heathen or pagan crafts or heathen crafts.
Heathen
whatever.
crafts.
Yeah.
Probably not pagan, but heathen crafts. There's a video on here on how to make the hood, measurements, everything.
Okay.
And you can measure it up or down however you want if you want to make it to go over a
They're
winter coat
so
or something.
amazing.
They really
They're
are
so
lovely.
amazing.
They look a little plaguean, a little, they look like you're kind of larping it up a little bit, but they are amazing. I love them. They're great. I have one made out of wax canvas and one made out of wool.
I'm gonna make one I gotta find some orange wool and make one for hunting because I loved wearing mine for hunting.
Oh no! I have this super high tech fabric.
Look what I got.
It's poison. Don't eat it.
Wow.
Totally just gonna stick it right here.
Okay, so I have this super cool fabric, right?
Wait,
And it is
I broke it. Fix me.
it is mirrored, like a reflective.
Oh, that stuff from the
Yeah,
tile.
from Macau. Yeah, it's a reflective material on one side. Just put it right there. It's a reflective, like space blanket material on one side. On the other side is a really hot orange.
Hot
So you
like
wear the
Hot like
orange on the outside, and it's got that reflective material on the inside to keep you warm in the winter.
I would totally
Well,
make
like
a
the
hood out of
space
that.
blankets or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
a
awesome.
super light fabric. Like you could probably make a quest hood and ball it up smaller than my fist.
That'd be cool.
It'd be really cool. You just keep it in your cargo pocket.
Okay, so also back to quality of life.
Yeah.
He said, I have broken bandsaw blades. If you ever want one, let me know. Sawmill bandsaw blades, 1 1/4 by 144 inches long.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. 'Cause the problem with the bandsaw blades is I got to grind the teeth off, or it's going to catch on people's hair. No, I'm not worried about cutting each other. I'm not real weird about that. But the actual teeth, the serrations themselves, will catch hair when you're making a headgear out of
Okay,
it.
real quick, Chad M said, unfortunately, I got to go, but I absolutely appreciate the information. I hope to see you guys on again soon and have a great night.
For sure, Chad. Thanks for stopping in. We'll do this every Saturday.
Saturday, 4:30.
4:30-ish. We kind of got distracted. I was sharpening knives for this cat, and that's what happened. So,
So Nero
yeah.
said, at my work, there's a bookshelf of random books random people put there. I don't know how, but the Poetic Edda was out laying there by itself, and I think it was a sign.
Whose Poetic Edda was it? Whose translation was it? I'm excited. My favorite translation of the Poetic Edda is actually Lee M. Hollander. I really enjoy Hollander's. And that's one of the things, I hate to go back on this, but it's one of the things that Jackson Crawford really rubbed me the wrong way, is that when he first came out with his Poetic Edda, he said something about, I remember seeing an interview or something with him, and he was saying something like, he was saying like some people try to publish under these publishing houses that have a university and name attached to them so that they sound legitimate, but they're not. They're just hack publishers. Okay, so it was something along those lines. And then I looked, my favorite copy, the first copy I ever had of the Poetic Edda, and I probably have 4 working copies, and I have 1 like heirloom quality hard copy of the Poetic Edda by Liam Hollander from University of Texas Press. And Jackson Crawford said they used the University of something. He didn't say Texas specifically, but it felt to me like I feel really connected to Crawford or to Hollander's Edda for various reasons that matter to me really early in my path. And to have Crawford say, "Oh, it was published by a university press," which means it's bullshit, really, really offended me. And that really turned me against, it made me really look hard at what Crawford has to offer. And I don't think he has as much to offer as Lee Hollander does. It certainly doesn't have any kind of legacy in the community like Hollander does. That did not appeal to me very well, was when he said that. So Hollander's Edda is absolutely my favorite translation. It's easy to read, it's descriptive, it's true to the source, and it's very, very, very well done and quoted way more often than Crawford, up until like probably the most dead recent. So
Okay, so Nero said it was Hollander's that was left out.
brilliant. You have an amazing copy. I hope it's a
And he
hardcover.
said, wow.
If it's a hardcover copy, treasure it.
No, that was at the library. Was it the library? Yeah. Oh, a bookshelf of random books.
Yeah, somebody was just laying there for him to take.
I don't think he took it because he said, that's crazy. I remember talking about it last stream. I will definitely buy Hollander's soon.
Yes, like I have multiple. I have Hollander Eddas that just fall apart when you pick them up. I've got runes scribbled in them. I've got every different interpretation of the passages. Like the Hollander's Eddas that I have, like especially the one that's all taped together and duct taped. That Hollander Edda is a legacy of my entire path in Asatru. When people say, "Oh, Odin said this," I'm in Hollander's Edda. When they're like, when I feel like it's been too long since I read the Voluspa, I'm in Hollander's Edda.
There is another T-shirt that I'm like, I'm all up in Hollander's Edda.
I'm all up in Hollander's Edda. So, yes, absolutely, definitely. That is my number 1 favorite copy of the Poetic Edda. I just don't recommend it for everybody because it is, if you don't understand the kennings, if you don't understand what the heroine of heedlessness is that hovers over the fast. So if you haven't really read the stories in story form, like Gaiman has story form, but Ella Davison does too. H.R. Ellis Davison has a story form also. So if you get to know the stories, then you can read them in poetic meter and, you know, translated poetic meter, and you can understand the stories a little bit better. Plus you learn kennings. It gets very exhausting to try and just pick up something like Hollander's Edda and try and translate the kennings by flipping through Snorri's Edda, because he actually lists all the kennings. I'm getting kind of deep in the weeds here. This is kind of a conversation for person to person.
I got this one too, brother.
Hollander's Edda, I love it, and but don't neglect the opportunity to get a copy or 2 of books that are just purely story form, translated story form.
This one's more bushcraft, so that's probably what you want.
Okay.
What's he trying to do?
Carve a stick.
His boy's carving a stick.
Oh, I have a carving knife. You want to do that?
And I got this too. What about that one?
Here's this. It's got 4. Look at this.
Nah.
Hey, if you go to our Amazon store, by the way,
Okay.
no, seriously, if you go to our Amazon store, I actually have this one listed. This is a very cheap knife. It's like $12-15, right? And it's got 4 or 6 different carving blades, spoon knives and everything. It's a really cool knife if you want to carve your own Galder or you want to carve runes into something. I keep it on me just in case I want to carve runes, because I carve runes because I'm a rune worker. And
They don't know that.
they know that. I mentioned it a little bit. So something like that is absolutely bomb-proof. And if you go buy one from like Flex Cut, you're going to pay like $110 or $130 or depending on where you buy it. But from the old-timer version right here, just as good. It just doesn't, the blades don't lock, but if you use them correctly, they won't fold up anyway. If you're using them incorrectly, then they fold up. But 12, 13, $14. I got 2 or 3 of these laying around the shop. I generally keep one in my pocket, definitely if I'm in the woods. And it's just a great little knife to have to carve. You want this carving knife, Sindri?
Okay, so Quality of Life said, thank you. I will take you up on that invite.
Yeah, man. Okay. Northwoodskndr@gmail.com. Hit me up, bro. And then you might even have my number. If you have my number, call me. And if not, then shoot me your number on that, and I'll call you. We'll work it out. Yeah, because we're having a gathering next month.
It's gonna be so fun.
It's gonna be so fun. So fun.
It's a birthday party.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our kindred birthday. It's our 2-year birthday party. And instead of singing happy birthday, we sing Ja må du leva. Look it up. It's a Swedish happy birthday.
Yep.
It's
Ja
not
må
happy
du
birthday. It's yes, may you live 100 years or more.
1,000.
1,000 years or more.
1,000.
That's right. My Swedish is weak. She's better than me. She's way farther on Duolingo on Swedish than I am.
I want to say like 95 days straight going on.
She got a 95-day streak. I got a 9-day streak. But that doesn't mean we've only been doing it for 9 days or 95 days. We've been doing it for quite a while. I just keep losing my streak because I'm providing content for you amazing people. I'm too busy reading other books in translated Old Norse.
Your ego's showing.
It's not my ego. It's my excuse. Egos and excuses are different.
All right. I got you, babes. Let's see. So Nero said, that's crazy. Oh, he remembers talking about it in live stream, talking about it last live stream, and he'll definitely buy Hollander soon. He was also doing a little research on Hollander, and the funny thing is that my work kind of sounds like his name. Oh, his job kind of sounds like Hollander's name. Is it? I think that's what
I don't know what that means.
I mean, we like to drink and then
We like to drink. Come on, man. I've been drinking all night.
I know, but I'm empty.
We can't do cryptic. I'm empty too. I'll get them because I got to go to the bathroom. So, hey, Sindri.
Yo.
Hey,
Ready?
come on in, bro.
Bro. Okay, keep me happy. I got to pee.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You got
he's
sucker.
gonna do a little dance.
Are you bringing?
Make a
Never
little.
mind.
Let's go down tonight. Let's go down.
Are we doing that? Hi.
Oh,
What happened?
well, you broke it.
I didn't break shit this
Oh,
time.
no.
I didn't even touch anything.
What did? Oh no.
Did it? Is it dying?
Oh, I bet it's almost dead. Let me go grab the. I gotta go grab the
Oh
cord.
man, you gonna leave me on the line by
Yeah.
myself?
Keep him happy.
Oh man. All right. Are there comments or something that I can read?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Let's see. Hi, I'm Sindri. Welcome to Minute with Sindri. I bet they are panicking right now because I could say absolutely anything I wanted
Totally
and
am.
nobody could do anything about it.
Totally panicking
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
see, I knew that was gonna happen. Have you looked up the Valhalla ladder? I believe it's more recent.
That
I don't know. I don't want to answer that one. I'll call you later. Time for dinner. Oh, quality of life.
That's Ty. He's on.
Okay. Have we gotten our Diswood? Hold on, Haywood Lock. Is that from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Isn't that this guy? Haywood Lock. Isn't that the guy that made that thing? I don't know. I watch a lot of kids movies.
Yeah.
Lily said yes.
Yeah. See, Lily knows. I forgot that you were back there, honey. You were really quiet.
She's waiting to do her hood.
She's like, I'm being good. Well, yeah, but we don't have enough material. We were making, my son and daughter, we're making them hoods. Because they don't have hoods yet. And so we're going to make them quest hoods. And we kind of got distracted.
You can come say hi,
You
Lily.
want to come say hi? Oh, she's bringing her chair.
Oh, hell yeah.
She
Wonder
must
where
be
she gets it
famous.
from.
Can you tell she's mine? Just a little bit.
I don't know what he's doing in there.
This is empty.
Mine is, look.
Do you want me to go? There's no more in the box. There's that.
We like
He's
to
bringing a
drink.
horn.
We like to drink in the Northwoods.
Oh,
So
no.
that happened. Here, I'm gonna give him the seat back. We're gonna
No, it
sit
was in the
back here.
fridge, man. There's like a half a bottle of meat in the fridge.
Oh, yeah. There's
Is
totally.
that
I want the orange one.
Well, I'll open them in a minute. Let's drink some meat first. So
Let's show.
yeah, this is our actual Kindred horn. We have other really cool horns, but this is the one we use for the Kindred. So it has an elk on the end. This is Uller. It's just kind of an effigy of Uller. And of course, the elk rune. We have an elk. The elk has its tongue sticking out because it's like, I don't know if you ever seen an elk go crazy in the rut. They're like, oh. So that's kind of symbolic of it with a little bit of a humor taste to it. This is our kindred horn. This is the one we use for all kindred rituals. And of course it has an ermine sill. Still kind of working on the old sources. I'm not totally convinced that ermine didn't graduate into becoming Uller. But I really like the ermine sill and the representation of the world tree and the world pillar and all the other different ways to look at it. So that I decided to put on the kindred horn, Uller, elk. That's it, because we live here in the land of hunting and snow and skis. I had a half bottle of mead in the fridge, so like, why don't we, right?
My dog disappeared.
We don't always chill the mead, but chilled mead is pretty amazing.
You can have some chips.
So yeah.
Oh, we're doing this, are we?
Oh.
Skull.
I didn't know. Sorry.
Oh, you came back?
I didn't realize there was meat in the horn.
There is now. There wasn't a minute ago.
That's tasty.
That's darker. So yeah. No, we just had a little bit. I figured, if we're gonna drink mead, we might as well do it.
It almost got each of us. Did you hear it?
I did. Every time it was slap, slap, slap.
No.
It's because we're not in ritual. That's the problem. We're not in ritual. So. So anyway, we passed a little horn.
Let's see what else we got.
Oh, there's my horn stand too. It's solid brass
It's freaking awesome.
with a little hammer on it. So it sits pretty comfortably on the table.
Okay, so Kelly Knight of Posh.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You got us all crooked now.
Well, I was just showing them the horn stand.
And so they can see too.
All that stuff's made here. That's what we do. We're very strong on craft. Why don't you slide in here? What are you doing?
Because Lily's here, and then Sindri's coming back. So we have Kelly Knight of Posh, right?
Balls of the Corps, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines,
Are you listening, babe?
Norsemen. Yeah, 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Association sent me that with it saying Norseman on it. They're like, hey man, here's a little gift for you.
Okay, Kelly
Here you go.
Knight of Posh.
I am listening.
Okay, said you can contact ITD. They may have bands that you could use. They use those for the plow blades.
Who? I don't know what ITV is.
I don't,
Screenshot that. Thank you. Well, I'll definitely, if I can find it. I don't know that we need any more though. Our kindred's not growing that rapidly. We're not really looking for new members, so.
oh, it'd be kind of cool to have like local craft days though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like
pretty cool.
community local craft days.
I would like to do that. Like, this would be a fun thing to think about this at the Kinixu Folk School, is to build shamanic headdresses. And we just come in with a big bin full of old animal parts, and I make the headwear, and we'd run a little class, and people just decorate their headwear. You know?
Yeah, we know where to get some animal parts.
Yeah, from Das Slaughterman. Which one did you want?
This one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you say connections?
Kinixu Folk School.
So hey, but,
Connections feet?
No, it's in Sandpoint. It's a folk school. It's the
all right.
Kinixu Land Trust.
So hold on, I have to.
It's where I went to yurt building school.
Mr. Mythos is a troll, so we're gonna ban him.
What do you
for-
say?
He said boobs, and then he showed little boobs. in the
Yeah,
thing.
just delete him, ban him. Hey, Mr. Mythos. Bye, dude.
They're not even real boobs.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I don't like trolling. I don't like that
Okay,
stuff.
so he said no, please don't. So that was two. Don't do it again.
Don't do it again, because that's bullshit. We're not here so you can entertain
Oh,
yourself.
it's
at
Yappenhar.
Yeah.
Ha.
Is it
He's
Yaffanar?
Mr. Mythol on TikTok.
What the? So that's a
Come
kinsman.
on,
That's a
man.
kinsman
You
trolling
can't
us.
do that.
What the?
Hey man, he's your kinsman. Wait, he's mine too. Damn it.
Boy, we messed that one up. Bye, guys.
Kinsman.
We totally messed that up. If he was here, he'd be right here next to us.
Like, the next thing that was going to happen is he was going to ring all our phones. I'm like, no!
He's like, no, please don't ban me. That's okay. Hey, listen, I can unban you.
Okay.
So you got to understand, we actually do that quite a bit. We get a lot of little weird stuff like that, and we just don't mess around with it. If Yafanhar, you should have identified yourself and then screwed around. That's where you went wrong, brother. But okay, you're good.
So yay,
We're good.
Yay for boobs.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Yay for boobs.
this one's rolling his eyes
Bro.
like.
Bro, you got banned for boobs.
I mean, we would notice him if he would have like commented on any of our videos. Is right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
bro.
Okay, we're not gonna shame our brother anymore. Let's get back to the comments.
He said, "Hello, all." He said, "Should just change the name. Lesson learned." Wish
Well,
you
now
were
we
here.
know, so.
Yeah, I wish you were here, brother.
Yeah, be a lot of fun.
Okay, so the ITD with Kelly Knight talking about those.
Yes.
That is Idaho Transportation Department.
Oh, yeah, we got a little Idaho Transportation Department right there in the Priest River too, right by the DMV, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they got everything. There's a DMV and a sheriff's office right there. So
So that's-
cool. Thanks for that tip. We'll
yeah, that's
definitely
a really
look.
good tip.
What are you looking for?
Oh, they said the Idaho Transportation Department has these metal banding straps.
Oh, nice. Oh.
Because I found those up in the forest. Remember? Yeah.
Okay, so did I tell you Quality of Life's watching our video on making a Quest hood right now?
Cool. Double dipping. Nice.
Let's see. Haywood Lock says, "Have you guys gotten your Discord set up yet?" We have it up.
It is up, but we haven't. There's nothing there. Like
We have a
haven't.
name, and we have a welcome page.
We have the name and a landing spot and all that kind of stuff, but we don't actually use it. We don't do anything on it. But absolutely join it. If we start noticing that people are going into it, then maybe we'll put a little effort into it. But you got to understand how much effort this is. And then TikTok is a lot of effort.
I mean,
And
that's the next step is to make
And then
all
the
the
Facebook
shit.
page. And of course, we still have a Kindred to run.
Drag.
I don't think so.
What? So there's a lot going on. And Discord just,
No, I think that.
there's not any buck for the bang right now. So we got to kind of really craft where we put our energies until we fine tune everything down to the point where it's almost automatic. But we do have the Discord. We have a Patreon too, but we don't really even have our tiers set up yet. We don't have all that stuff set up. And the goal isn't to try and extort money out of people. The goal is to have this thing kind of get in a cycle where it can actually cover its own expenses. Yeah, because right now it ain't covering its own expenses. So.
Okay, so let's see. Max Froberg said, "Have you looked up the Valhalla ladder? I believe it's a more recent thing, but your thoughts on it?"
Okay, I have one. If you watch some of our videos, you'll see it hanging in the bay. So we're very fortunate, and I'm going to have to go back a little bit, and you're going to have to keep me on track and remind me that I'm talking about a Valhalla ladder.
All
Okay.
right, go for it.
So we built the bay. When we decided we were going to have the Kindred, it was very interesting. Angel and I were sitting out back, and we decided we were going to have a Kindred. And boom, this rainbow dropped in the backyard, and we're like, ooh, let's see where that goes. So we went back there, and we're like, that's where we're going to move our bay to, because the bay was in a different spot. So we moved the bay back there to that spot, and we did it ritually. So maybe I'll show how to do that ritual, and eventually, if you got to move your sacred space, that would be a really cool ritual to show people how to do that. We moved the bay back there, and we set all that kind of stuff up, and then we start making videos and doing all this kind of thing. And the beauty of that spot is it's got this one tree that leans dead east. And if you read the Havamal, and it talks about if a leech you want to be, then carve on the bowl of the wood of the tree whose boughs bend to the east. Well, this tree bends dead east in the bay at the entrance. It's amazing. So, so we knew that we were in the perfect spot for that. And then out of the blue, Håkan Vendetta of the Gallahorn Kindred, which is my mentor, Gothi, in our natural born kindred, I guess. So Håkan was doing some work on the Gallahorn Bay back in Ramona, Julian. In
Yeah.
Julian, California, and he was trimming some branches and cutting some limbs and cutting some roots and all that kind of stuff. And the bay is amazing. It's beautiful back there, and it's a lot of stonework. And so he did all that, and he got all this pile of rubbish. So he cuts all these pieces, and he put us together a Valhalla ladder that's roots from the bottom up to the middle, and branches from the middle up to the top. And it's all roots and branches from the Gjallarhorn Ve, and it now hangs in our Ve here to connect the Northwoods Kindred Ve and the Gjallarhorn Ve in California together. So I like them. There are, I know that the name Valhalla Ladder is new, but I believe that there's historic examples, like he found them in some anthropological sites or something, or some grave sites maybe. It seems like that these came out of history, and we had to figure out what they were about. Some people say that they were like some Vikings would go on raids, and every shore they landed on, they would take a piece of driftwood, and when they got home, they would build these Valhalla ladders, and that was their, the incrementally, that was a description of or a visual representation of their many, many raids and stuff. I haven't seen anything about that, and I've been reading these obscure text for a long ass time. But if I ever do find anything more, the bottom line is we don't live 1,000 or 2,000 years ago. We live now. We don't live in history. We're making history. So if that's the modern interpretation of some old stuff, then I say go for it. We love it. Ours is here. We're going to build one for Gjallarhorn Ve that matches our Ve, so they're really, really connected. Essentially, Gjallarhorn Ve and Northwoods Kindred Ve are like a ley line now, if you ask me. We're like a power line across the country. So, and we also, just since we're talking about it anyway, we have a bag that hangs at the entrance of our Ve. It looks like a little felt nutsack, and it's full of polished quartz crystal stones, and those quartz, because we know quartz is essentially a battery. It's a storage medium, and it stores all the energy from all the rituals and everything we do in our Ve. So we've told people, although nobody's taken us up on it, if you want to send us a small symbol of your Ve, a bone, a stick, a rock, send us something from your Ve, then we will send you one of those crystals from our Ve. It's just a gift for a gift. It's just an exchange between heathens. It doesn't have to mean anything. You don't have to make a big deal about it. But it's a little bit of our Ve in yours, a little bit of your Ve in ours. And we're perfectly, open to that. And that's why that bag of crystals hangs there, or of polished stones, so that we can make that exchange. People just don't seem to want to take us up on it, I guess.
Well, I mean, now that we have our link tree, we do have our mailing address in.
Yeah, so if you follow us on TikTok, our mailing address is
It's on YouTube too.
Is it? Okay, so our link tree has links to all of our stuff. Our post office box is there. If you mail us a feather, a bone, a stick, anything from your Ve, we will definitely put it at
Or
our
altar. A lot of people don't have an actual.
or your altar or your sacred space, or something you found that means something to you, but you don't know what to do with it. As long as it's kind of natural and kind of in our heathen circle. If you send us something like that, I mean, obviously, if you write me a note that says I love you and it's awesome, it'll be really cool. But we're not going to send you a crystal. Like, send us something physical that we can put in our Ve that represents your sacred space, and we will send you something that represents our sacred space. It's there. That's what it's for. That we created that, and of course, it's not out there far and wide because we don't know a lot of people, and we're not big on YouTube, and we're not huge on TikTok. We're just kind of people doing it. But I think it would be really cool if everybody started doing it. If you could send it to this kindred or that kindred or this pagan or this heathen or this Asatru or this Vanatru or whatever, or this Odinic fellowship or whatever they want to call themselves, that we were all just trading these little symbols of our sacred spaces and connecting each other like metaphysically in our sacred. Wouldn't that be cool? So we're gonna start that. Let's start that. So let's make it happen. We got the resources already going. Let's do it. Send me a feather. I'll send you a stone. Neither one of them are worth a damn thing to anybody except us. Right?
Okay, so Quality of Life said, call you later. Time for dinner. Gotta go.
Cool, Ty. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Haywood Locke said, Sindri's energy is awesome.
Isn't it though? I can't get over it. Like, yeah.
It's that sparkle, man.
Sparkle.
Nero said, make Minute with Sindri a permanent thing.
What the hell did you do when I was gone?
You left me unsupervised, bro.
You're gonna have to watch the replay.
We gotta have a mind Sindri.
We totally have to have a fight
Oh
Sindri.
man. We're gonna have a minute with Sindri on like shorts or something. It'll be a
buddy.
minute long.
Okay, so Hayward
You
Locke
shitty
said,
advice.
I love Discord. I use it a lot. If you need help setting it up, let me know. I'd be happy to help.
Well, we got
And
it set up. We just don't
wait,
know how to conduct it.
And full disclosure, this is Drew Smith.
Ah!
Hey Drew.
Wondering if he was on here or not. I almost asked for him.
We might as well tell you we're inviting you to the next gathering. We just haven't got the details worked out yet. So get your shit together. So
I
Is it
mean,
cloudy with a chance of meatballs, man? Because it's driving me insane now.
because the next gathering is not one of them weird ones that we're out bouncing around everywhere. We're
is
gonna be
that a
right
birthday
here.
Party?
It's our. We haven't had a gathering right here since the last one, since Ostara. But yeah, here we go.
I mean, if you remember last year for our birthday party, Sasha and Lily decorated the birthday cake.
I do remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. You love the maypole, huh?
Yeah.
We're
I love
maypoling
the
again.
maypole too.
We're maypoling again.
All right, so Kelly Knight said no problem because you said thanks for the tip on Idaho Transportation Department.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
And let's see, Max Froberg said I picked up some driftwood from the shores of Lake Superior on my recent trip to Minnesota, and I'm making one for our home in Arizona.
That's awesome. That's brilliant. That's very cool. So, and I think, at least not from what I've read, but from what people have told me, driftwood is the actual traditional medium
Yes, yes.
because it was driftwood on the shores wherever they landed and they did their little raids and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I haven't read it, but
I wonder if that has anything to do with, back then when they were looking for new land on where to build their houses, and they threw out the god poles and they drifted ashore, and that's where they built
no,
their-
I think that's different because that's really very specific to Iceland in the later Viking Age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No.
but I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So Hayward Locke said, "Will do, guys. Super excited." And Sindri, Hayward Locke is a amalgamation between Hayward from 2001: Space Odyssey and John Locke. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was a funny movie, though. Oh, you sad now? Huh? You totally thought you had.
No, it's all good. At least I know now.
Got me.
All right, go work on it.
What up, boy? How are you carving?
Shank.
Okay, don't go
me
after
see
the
it.
dogs or
Let me
the
see your.
chickens.
I don't want that. I want the prison shank. So
That looks
this
more like an arrow.
this right here,
It's
it's why
mine.
gun control will never work because even in the most secure environments on the world, people will find a way to shank people.
Nope, can't use that.
Did you watch that?
You would have.
Did you watch that cruise?
You'd be amazed at how many times she says can't use that when we're recording a gathering.
And then all the punch monkeys.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Okay, where we at?
I need somebody to help me.
Let's see, we're caught
The
up.
dog won't leave me.
No, that's interesting.
We're caught
Oh
up.
well.
Do we keep going? Do you want to ask
You go,
questions? Do you want to end it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys
We
want to
are
ask.
plugged in now because as soon as you left, the whole screen went dark and Sindri was left on his own.
Really?
He needs that.
So if you guys want to ask any questions, we're absolutely going to answer them. If not, we'll wrap it up. What do you think?
I think there's more meat in that horn that you should pass it around again. That's what I think.
Yo ho ho and a horn of mead.
Yo ho! It's a Viking's life for me.
I mean, isn't this what Mr. Was it
Mythos.
Mythos named? Simply Hopped. Aren't we drinking what
Yes.
he named?
Simply hoppeted.
It
I don't know if he's
is.
still
'Cause
here.
that's the one we bottled this year.
Simply hoppeted. But I'm pretty sure that the really, really crappy handwriting belongs to none other than Leaf the Legolas.
Which, I mean, are either of our brothers still here? our brother, our kinsman.
Nah, they're gone. They're like, man, you guys drinking mead without us? We're not going to stick around
They
and
got
watch
tired
this.
of our shit.
We're not going to stick around and watch this garbage. So,
They're like, hey, we didn't get it.
They get to
Like,
see it live all the time.
they get to deal with your live sparkle. Your
like, boom.
sparkle. Let me see if anybody wants to
We'll
know
start
anything.
doing that now.
Sparkle.
I know, I need to make a little sparkle bomb.
Nero said UK is a good example. LOL. Your dog's drinking.
No, I
That's-
put
never
I
mind,
put a
that's my
thing
dog.
of water out there for him.
The quench water from the forge over there is probably not safe for dogs to drink. So we're a little sensitive to hearing dogs going.
Yeah, I put water out there for him. So that
UK is a good example. I don't know if Forfeit, he's the one that said there should be a minute with Sindri hour. Or, well,
Mm-hmm.
Minute with Sindri hour. That makes about as much sense as I say. So yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mythos said,
I think we should have an hour with Sindri Minute.
Mr. Mythos said, I love it. It's a great flavor. And I think about to start another batch.
Yes.
And Leif said, speaking of mead, Ari and I are going to be bottling tonight. So they're both still here.
They did make babies, just meat babies.
Just meat babies. Little alcohol bubbles. Yeah, we got to brew some more too. We actually ordered some 2 different really cool flavors of honey from Hawaii. So we can't wait to start brewing with that stuff too. Let's wrap this up because I got work to do. I got knives to sharpen. So,
I have videos to edit.
yeah.
I got hoods to make.
We
Yeah.
got shit to do.
We got shit to do. What do you think?
We're
We're
Right
caught
there.
up. We answered all your questions. You guys have been amazing tonight.
Don't forget to hit a like on the way out.
Yeah, hit a like on the way out. I'm going to remind you one more time. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go. I seen you starting to push it. Wait a second. There's 10 of you. I'm holding you to it. On our website, remember, we have oath rings, the official Kindred oath ring, and then the secondary, which is these amazing horse hooves.
Those are pretty cool, man.
They're so
I've never
cool.
seen 'em before.
So we
Those are
got these.
pretty
There's a limited amount of these. There's a little bit more of these. We've blessed them in ritual today. The video will be coming out soon, but get them quick. And when you're on the website, when you're buying your amazing new oath ring, there are free downloads, or at least one free download, right?
One, yeah. You
Okay.
got to do the other video for the other one, and then
Okay,
I'll throw it out
there's
free.
another. There's one free download on Asa True frequently asked questions that you can download, print, fold it up, and pass it out at your local church. I don't care. And then there's another download.
Pass it out of your
No.
local church.
God, you forgot who's listening.
Man, I had my hearing aids up and everything. I heard it all.
Okay,
I'm passing
so-
them out at church.
There's that one. It's free to download and print. I have a few more in the series I'm building. When I get the next one built,
Here you go.
I'll put it up, and then we'll do a video on the last one, which is the Gods and Goddesses of Asatru. Right now, it's like $1.50, maybe $2 to download.
$1.50.
By all means, buy it if you want. But if not, wait. I'll do a video on it, and then we'll give it away for free. But if you can't wait, then go ahead and pay for it.
Look at that. We got 15
Yeah.
likes all of a sudden. What
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
What is this?
What's that?
Oh!
So here's the. I want to say something. No. I want to say something. Like I talked about this yesterday. If you want to have a ritual and you want to actually blood sacrifice an animal, and you can't, and you're not confident in your ability to do it, and you're in this area, call him because he can do the sacrifice. He's a Norse pagan. He can do the sacrifice for you, and your goatee can lead the actual ritual. He doesn't have an ego. He doesn't have to be the center of attention. He will stab the damn thing in the throat. It will be clean. It will be efficient. It will not be violent. It will not be gory. It will bleed it into a bowl, and you can do whatever the hell you want with what comes out. Right?
Don't do a cow though, because like that's a lot.
You
of
better
meat.
bring a
That's
bucket.
lot more meat than you're prepared to handle for bloat. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So, but
do
yeah,
something
otherwise,
small like a
yeah.
sheep
I
or a
feel
goat
like
or
I
a
want to
lamb.
do a cow now.
Ah.
Well, for Yule, we may have enough people to do a cow.
Okay,
I'm
so
trying
that's
to
what
figure out how to
that's
do
where
that.
we're at. Okay, so we'll end that. I'm just saying that like the bottom line is not everybody's capable of that level of commitment, but there are people out there, if you know where to look, that can help you with that phase of the operation if you really want to be that that committed to it, right? And it doesn't have to be a torture fest. It doesn't have to be gory. It doesn't have to be poorly done. I am sure that when our Norse ancestors slaughtered a sheep for a sacrifice and sprinkled that blood on people, the first spot of blood anybody saw was the one that was sprinkled on them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It was that clean and efficient. I'm absolutely certain of that. And if you don't know anybody that can do that, I know someone. He'll travel too, but you got to pay for that.
Yeah. Gas is way expensive right now, man. Shit.
So, okay. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. I totally am super excited that you guys have hung out with us for so long. Like I said, on our website, it's in our link tree. We got these. They are absolutely blessed in ritual by me, and she held the camera. We have this other one, and we're working on getting some more nice, really cool heathen stuff. Of course.
Are you gonna make more hammers? I was gonna ask.
Well, there's a couple on the website. Of course, my hammers are always blessed. So if you want the Fire Striker, Thor's hammers, all of this stuff all it does is support our effort to give this kind of content to you and to hang out and do that sort of thing. So if you want to participate in that, that's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna catch us up. We got a few comments, and then you can end it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. It's mostly just goodbyes.
I just had to get the
So
the
Mr. Mithos
commercial.
said, I think about to start another batch. We certainly got to start another batch.
Yeah, we got to get on it.
And love you guys. Haywood Locke said, great time listening to you guys. Have a great night and stay safe out
Thanks,
there.
Hayward. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Mr. Mythos said, same. See you guys next week.
All right, brother.
I mean, like, you could come join us.
Like, we'll be here all night. We like to drink in the Northwoods.
I mean, he could. He could come join us. Mr. Mythos.
Man, text us.
Okay, where we at?
I'll grab my phone.
Max Foberg said, glad I could catch you guys for a while.
Yeah, cool, man.
Kelly Knight said, have a good night.
Good night, Kelly.
Leaf said, love you guys. Have an awesome night.
Good night,
PS,
Leafer.
P.S. Still doing dishes. They've been stacking up. LOL.
Man, you can't let that stuff slide like that. You end up with roaches.
And Zach49 said, glad I made it to a live stream.
Zach, good to see you. You've been here the whole time, and I appreciate that very much.
Nero said, have a good rest of the day.
Nero, too. Been here a long, long time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Mytho said, done. Want one of those horse bracelets.
Ban that guy.
Okay, now your brother over here, Sindri, is having a side conversation on the group page with seeing if he's gonna. Oh, you should tell them all to come join us on Facebook. Our
Yeah. So we have
Facebook page.
Northwoods Kindred on Facebook, Discord, Twitter, Instagram,
Yeah, like
TikTok.
everywhere.
The Facebook is a group, so you can actually interact with us on a
Patreon,
daily
Discord,
basis.
yeah.
Patreon, we're on all of it. The Patreon, if you want to join, great. We would absolutely love it. We have 4 tiers on Patreon. We have $3, $6,
Not yet.
$9.
Not yet. We got like the $3 one. I got
So we're
distracted.
working
Okay,
on it.
so we're working on the Patreon. If you want to join it, we would absolutely love it. We don't have a lot to offer right now, but we're working on it. We really are. We're going to try and give you your value 10 times over if we can pull it off. So
Don't forget about the camping trip. Maybe Sindri should tell him.
Okay, so check us out, man. We're gonna do a thing in August. We're still trying to figure out the details and where
It's
it's
a
gonna be. But check it out. We doing a thing. Like, it's gonna be a thing, man. Like, bro, it's gonna be a thing. Look, I'm so excited about it. I almost shit my pants, and I took a picture of it at work, and that's what's on Facebook now. And like, you can't see me naked, but you gotta pay for that. Just kidding.
Only kid.
Only kid. Yo, we making money in the Northwoods.
I mean, only kids.
No, but really, August, man, like, woo! We're gonna be live in color, and we're gonna spread sparkle across the woods.
twinkle, twinkle.
You might get arrested that night.
Nobody's
the fuck
left.
I am.
There's
I
still
ain't getting
9 people here.
arrested.
Nobody is left.
I ain't getting arrested,
We are
man.
absolutely, completely incorrigible.
Jeez.
Okay, we got work to do. So,
Okay.
I ain't gonna be sober.
No
but I
more
ain't
comments.
arrested.
We can still wrap it up and get out of here before we get incriminated.
okay, so you know what we got going on. Everything we have going on across the web is in our link tree. Enjoy it. Support us if you can. All that does is help us make really weird, goofy content. And, I mean, like usable heathen content.
Yeah.
Ah, that was so funny.
It was freaking
They were
epic.
they were like, no. Like,
YouTube's like, you guys
it's
gotta
real.
get
Okay,
out.
we got work to do.
Bullshit.
we're not as loose as we seem.
No,
We actually got to wrap our stuff up and kind of
go back to work.
go back to work. Yeah, it's a bummer. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us. We love you guys.
Except for you,
We will be
nothing.
back here next Saturday unless something weird happens. And also Fridays you'll find us on this channel on TikTok, and then tomorrow we'll be on Makers Movement channel, our other YouTube channel, our big YouTube channel. We'll be right back here tomorrow on Makers Movement on YouTube. Same bat time, same bat channel, right?
Yep.
All right, guys, love you. Thanks for hanging out with us.